Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Time to rise and meet the challenge. Baba Shuaib is calling you out. Meet Baba Shuaib, a correctional officer with a mission. Today he's throwing down the gauntlet to the mushriks, no more holding back. With his logo shirt and cap, Baba Shuaib sits tall and confident. He says, the time for action is now. It's time to rise, to push past limits, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Baba Shuaib believes in the power of determination and resilience. His challenge is simple. Stand up, face your fears, and conquer them. Every day is a new opportunity, he says. An opportunity to grow stronger, to be better, and to leave a mark on the world. So, are you ready to accept Baba Shuaib's challenge? Are you ready to rise above and beyond? Join Baba Shuaib and let's show the world what we're made of, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself.
Salam Baba Shuaib, how are you?
Says the Sunnah of Muhammad.
Like the word Sunnah of
The
Muhammad?
statement, if you said you follow the Sunnah of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, what was he following?
He was following Islam.
And whose footsteps was he following?
Ibrahim,
Thank you. Was Ibrahim a Sunni?
in that sense, not so.
Are you a stammerer?
Yeah, like Musa al-Islam did.
Who told you Musa did stutter? Who told you that?
My scholars.
The Quran never said he stuttered or stammered. So now, if it is a millah of Ibrahim, that means if you said you are a Sunni, there's a problem. Because Ibrahim was not a Sunni. And Ibrahim was not following anything called Sunnah.
Yeah, Baba Shuaib, I just want to keep it simple, really, with you. So I know what you're saying, but because I'm coming from a Sunni perspective narrative, I'm also coming from the Hadith perspective as well. For example, if you say like, oh, Prophet Muhammad was commanded to follow the millah of Ibrahim, which is correct in the Quran. But for example, we know from the Hadith, which obviously you don't accept, but because that's my paradigm. If Abraham was here, any prophets was here, they would have to follow the Sunnah of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Everything you do is not based on the Quran, the book of God.
So how is it shirk then, Baba Shuaib? That's
Okay,
what I'm
thank
asking
you. To associate something with God or others or anything with God when he has not sent you authority, it is shirk.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. So where did God ask you to associate the Sunnism outside the context of the Quran? Where did God ask you to do that?
How would that be associating partners with Allah? How is that Sunnah following Prophet Muhammad's example in the way he worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the supplication that he made, in the ways that he dealt with his wives, he ate, he slept, in the way that he established a salah? How is following all of that associating partners with Allah?
Thank you. So that means you believe he married a 6-year-old girl.
No, I don't. I reject the hadith.
Oh, are you an hadith rejecter now?
No, I reject that one. If I reject one hadith, doesn't mean I reject all.
So you reject a Sahih hadith. It is Sahih. 5,134 Sahih al-Bukhari. It is Sahih by your scholars. Where do you find the Sunnah? That Sunnah you are following, where do you find it?
Which Sunnah?
The thing you are following about the Sunnah. Where do I find it?
You'll find it in the Sunnah.
Where?
In the hadith books.
Thank you. The same hadith books you reject some, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
in the Quran, is there any verse you reject in the Quran?
No.
Thank you. So this hadith books you are following, where did God give you permission to follow the hadith book?
But this is not the question you are.
This
you
is the
are
question
posing.
I'm asking you now.
You're asking me that now, but it's not relevant to where I'm associating.
I want to prove to you you are a mushrik. The point is, I'm asking you a simple question. Where did God ask you to follow hadith books?
Atiullah wa atiur Rasul wa ulil amri minkum. Follow the prophet, follow the messenger.
It doesn't say follow. No, it doesn't say follow.
Ati, what does that mean?
Obey.
Obey? Yes. Obey Allah and obey the messenger and those in authority amongst you.
Continue.
That's it. Those are the three categories.
So how does it become hadith books?
Right. So when Allah says Atiullah, what does he mean?
Explain to me. Don't ask me.
You said, where does the hadith come into it? Is it?
Yes.
So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Atiullah, that means obey Allah. And in how would you obey Allah? You would obey by following the Quran. When Allah says Atiur Rasul, how would you obey the prophet, the messenger? That would be his sunnah.
Really?
And those in authority amongst you would be those obviously in authority amongst you, the scholars, the head of states, and those things.
Hey!
Yes.
Otoku!
I just answered your question.
Hey! I thought that you said the Prophet is the best mufassir of the Quran.
Yes, well, the Prophet taught his companions, and the companions taught their students, and so on and so forth. So,
Give me the reference where it says the Prophet said Atiwur Rasul means obey the Sunnah. Give me a reference where it says that.
why would you ask for reference for something you don't accept?
So that I know if you are lying. If you give me the reference, it's true, I will believe it.
No, you won't.
Why are you judging me? This
you
guy.
won't.
You are mushrik because you are associating the garbage books with the book of God.
That doesn't make sense. Or you are mushrik because I'm associating garbage book with how?
Because
How
where did God give you permission to associate the garbage books with his book?
That's not association.
What is it then?
How is it? How is it?
People who say rejecting a hadith is kufr is literally committing shirk.
I would say she is right. That is shirk because you are taking up a legislation which is not found in the book of God. Nowhere in the Quran does it actually say if you reject any hadith book aside the Quran, does it say you are a kafir. But the mushriks will tell you if you reject any garbage hadith, you are a kafir. So the girl is actually telling you the fact. But because you hate the fact, then you act like you are not attacking a personality, even though you are coming for her. But you act like, no, you are coming to teach her whilst attacking her. Now look at the stupidity of your first statement.
Due respect, frankly, isn't a lot. This video is stupid.
You see how he started? So now check the second statement he makes to show you that he is rather stupid.
First of all, sister, don't talk about things that you're not qualified or not knowledgeable in.
Don't talk about things you are not qualified or you are not knowledgeable in. He's going to show you that he is not knowledgeable in this issue.
Make yourself look stupid, and especially in issues of Islam. You could throw yourself into the hellfire because you said one thing haphazardly.
And he is going to throw himself into hellfire by saying the dumbest BS.
Is rejecting a Sahih Hadith kufr? Yes.
Thank you. Now he said, is rejecting a Sahih Hadith kufr? Then he said, yes, that is a legislation. These guys don't know the meaning of legislation, by the way. You are given a legislation and now you are going to pass on judgment. And the last time I checked Quran chapter 5 verse 44, whoever does not judge by what God has revealed is a kafir. That's what God says. You pass on a judgment. You brought a legislation. You said whoever rejects a Sahih Hadith. Now the Sahih Hadith, who made it Sahih? It wasn't the Prophet who made it Sahih. The Prophet has no idea about the books they have. As a matter of fact, their own Hadith books, the Prophet told them, لا تكتبوا عني ومن كتب عني غير القرآن فليمهه وحدثوا عني. He says, do not write anything from me except the Quran. And out of their naivety, they will start quoting other contradictive hadiths to say, oh look, somebody wrote, yeah, he gave a direct instruction and command. There is no other instruction according to your hadith books which can cancel this statement. He said, do not write anything except the Quran in your own garbage books. But because we know you guys don't even value your garbage books, you do cherry picking. No reference. Nowhere did you give the sister a reference to show that this, according to the Quran, this is where Quran says when you reject a Sahih Hadith, you are a kafir. This is the foolishness of these bozos. I want to show people and show the world. Thinking he is wise and knowledgeable. Telling the sister not to speak on things she doesn't have knowledge or qualified for. Do you actually know that you are passing on a legislation which is not found in the book of God? Quran chapter 42 verse 21. Do they have idols who have legislated for them of a religion to which God has not authorized? So you are claiming this is kufr by your scholars giving that legislation when the Prophet himself didn't give that legislation. We don't find it in the book of God. As a matter of fact, Quran chapter 45 verse 6, in which hadith after God and his verses will they believe?
And this is for two reasons. One, if a hadith via the sciences of hadith is proven to be a narration from the Prophet ﷺ, then to reject it is to reject the word of the Prophet ﷺ.
Now you are giving your reason as to why it is kufr without even quoting a reference from the book of God. But the last time I checked, when we say Al-Furqan, the Quran was sent down as Al-Furqan. Quran chapter 2 verse 185.
Yes, the Quran is the epitome of this method, but the hadith were preserved in the same way.
Show me one person on earth who has memorized the hadith book from beginning to end. They don't have it. But out of their foolishness, they will tell you it was preserved the same way.
And the second, and this is the trap that you fall into in the video, if you reject a Sahih hadith, you reject the Quran inadvertently.
Out of your foolishness, you still uphold man-made garbage books, comparing it to the book of God. When Quran chapter 17 verse 88 clearly tells you nothing can be compared to the book of God. Time is up. Baba Shuaib will sit them down. You will see how I'll make them look like fools. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Peace be upon you all. Let me see. This one goes here. Yeah. Peace, guys. I hope you can hear me sounding clearly. Shout outs to all those who are watching. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all. Beduinka says, what is the rule for the moderators? At least if somebody is going out of the topic in the discussion, in the comment section, and being rude, you just put them on the timeout. If they're extremely rude, we can take them away. Just block them, and also, if they write something, some comment, you as a moderator don't like it, or after a warning, then you can take the comment off. Yeah, so those are some of the rules, right? Yeah, but be very sure that the person you are putting on a timeout or blocking is not a Quran follower. Like, it shouldn't be somebody who advocates or champions the ideology we follow. It should be somebody who is antagonist, or he is actually extremely hostile to the message I put out there, right? That is the people you deal with in the comment section. Yes, I see you, my elder Faisal Alavadi. I see you. Greetings to you. Peace to you. I hope you're doing well. My regards to you and your family, also your kids. I hope they are doing well. Greetings to all those who are joining. I appreciate all of you. Peace be unto you all. I'm streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and X. I don't know if it's on X right now. Let me check. I'm streaming on X. It says on X I'm streaming. I don't know. Is it on? It says I'm streaming on X. Let me confirm if I'm on X. There's a new option which allows me to stream on X. So I don't. Let me see. Profile. Yeah. If you go on X, yeah. I'm on live on X. If you are on X, Twitter is streaming live right now, so you can join. Yeah. So yeah, it's working. Thank you, Adrian. It's working. So I'm streaming live on Twitter. That is X. I think there's a new option they have now. So Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and X. So 5 streams at the same time. There is also Instagram. There's Instagram available. And there's Kick. If I connect all, it will make the stream go very slow. So that's why I just trim it down, right? But it's streaming, it's working, right? You can watch on X also. Yeah, it's streaming. Yeah. So let's see what we have here. And thanks to God, I know with X, since the streaming option is there, now it will build up an audience over there too. I think it's a good thing that X also has that option, right? So I give shout outs to all those who are watching. Let me see. Shout outs to all those on Facebook, YouTube. I see Mohammed Hassan, Maseu Khan, Mehdi Mumi, Pacman Presents. Can fish be considered as a sacrifice, or does it have to be goat, cattle? It has to be a livestock animal, mentioned in Quran chapter 6, verse 43 to 44. It's a livestock animal, right? Livestock. Yes, so we have you can't cut. We have Momade Pedro. Yeah, peace to you, bro. Omar Satawur, Musa Khan. Yes, I see you. Yeah, Sister Eram, I see you. God bless you. I appreciate the support. Time for some correctional wake up slaps. Mazlan Osman, Runway Insight, Ahmed Abdullah, Bedouinka. We have 123 ABC, Abdullah Isa, Ryan Hassan. Yes, thank you. I appreciate the dua. I appreciate this application a lot. Thank you. Yeah. Have you seen Sister Aya's video where Ali Dawa violent threat against her? I have a lot of videos on my radar, right? Sometimes I'm yet to go through the whole of a particular video, but I'm yet to see that one. If there is a video as such, somebody can please share it to me. There's a video of Ali Dawa attacking Sister Aya. The sister Aya's, is it Aya's voice or something on TikTok? Or yeah, they said Ali Dawa is going at her, and these are the people I would love to go at with, people like Ali Dawa, Muhammad Hijab. I would love to go head to head with them consistently, but they will never step on my foot. They are cautious of who they are dealing with. I'm telling you for a fact. Yeah. Yes. I'm not actually wearing red. I'm wearing wine. It's just that the screen, maybe the lightning makes it appear as if I'm wearing red. But well, if I'm wearing red, you know how I'm going to deal with the mushriks anyways. So we have Bing Bang in the 6. Salam to you from Istanbul. Greetings to you. So let me see. Ziad Mohammed. How is the mushrik situation in Finland? In Finland, I think Finland, if you are following the news, Finland is considered the happiest country in the world. And this is about the 9th time consecutively, 9th time in a row. The happiest country in the world. It's peaceful country. You practice your religion, freedom of, it is not a chaotic place to be when it comes to religion. But however, there are Sunnis here, there's Shia, there's Shiites here, there's Sunnis. People practice their religion. And as a matter of fact, physically they know who I am. They know me. They know who I am. And they know how I can articulate the same things I say online. I even say it better physically. But physically, it is not like I'm going away around calling them mushriks. No, like I do interact with them. We do on a mutual, respectful level. Like we do greet each other, show each other respect. It's just I'm online talking about religion and creating my content. So if it hurts their feeling, that's up to them. Nobody asked them to come and peep on my page. It's on my page I'm speaking. So if they will come and intrude and it affects their feeling, that's up to them. Because remember, I put a disclaimer there. Correctional officer is not here for emotional people. I'm only lecturing intelligent people. So if the person have subliminal level of intelligence and just come and get hurt, that's up to them. You understand? So salam to you, Karim Jonathan. I see you. Chinks Loco, JS. I see you, Jihan. Tuta, is it Tuta World? Adran Halti. Yes, we have Prince Islam. I ordered a great Quran last week. When can I expect it? I'm in the state. Yeah, if you ordered, is it Islam? Is it Nabulsi? If you are Islam Nabulsi, you should be getting your copy next week. Yeah, you should be getting it next week, God willing, right? Usually it takes like within 10 days for you to receive the order. Yeah, usually it's within 10 days. So you should be getting your copy next week. It could be middle of next week. Yeah, probably. God willing. Timothy John, yes, salam to you. Shah Zarkan, Zad 7272, WLWL, Faisal Hussein, my dear brother, I see you. Greetings to you. Salam. It says Daniel Hakikatu's boyfriend got me banned from his stream for exposing Sister Aya's voice about Ali Dawa. Daniel Hakikatu's boyfriends? Oh, really? Mohammed Lawal say hello, Baba. God bless you and well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mohammed Hijab now comes to debate with WWE belt. Hey, really? Hey, Mohammed heebie-jeebies. The guy with the PhD, post heebie-jeebies disorder. Dimples double salam to you. Bel Shaba. Is it Belsha Saba? Yeah. Yeah. Then we have Quran alone is truth. I see you, my brother. Akiku Sashintaro. Yeah, salam to all those joining on YouTube and Facebook, Twitch. Greetings to all of you. And X. So if you're watching from X, also greetings to you. Yeah. Greetings to those on X. Anyways, for those on TikTok, you know, I'm sorry, YouTube, you are my VIP, audience, right? VIP. But on TikTok, they are my VVIP. And you know why? If you want to know why, you join After Party on TikTok. You understand what I mean, right? My YouTube, you are my VIPs, but TikTok, they are my VVIPs, right? So I know those on YouTube, some of you are on TikTok, right? So TikTok, they are VVIP, and you know when you join TikTok, you understand what I mean. Yeah, so greetings to all those who are joining. Hassan Khan, I see you, brother. Balu World, I see you. Kanji, Dragonfly, The Lone Wolf. Diane's, yes, D45, Servant of God, I see Sister Diana. Then I see, yes, thank you for all those sending the gifts. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you. I see Amina. I see Sister K. I see K. I see you. Greetings. I see Halal Ahmed. I see Samir X. Peace to you. I see Risho Mushriks Shege. Yes, the Mushriks are going to sweat. My mind is on every possible channel. My man, I have to be everywhere for the Mushriks. I'm serious. I have to be on every channel possible. Yes. Stylish Fifi says, you are doing great. Keep it up. I appreciate the support. God bless you, Stylish. Yes, thank you, Lone Wolf. Let me see. I don't see some people. Yeah, I see you. Is it Junior? Is it Junior what? I don't see the name well here from me. I see Ronin 714. Salam to you. You're shouting on YouTube, guys. Okay, I'm just now shouting out TikTok because TikTok is the VVIP, right? I should have started with the list on TikTok, right? I did a bias there. I should start with the TikTok list because they are the VVIP. I see Mohammed Nurullah. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your presence. Let me see. Yeah. So far we have over 70 people watching live from TikTok, and then we have about 70 people watching from YouTube. Over 74 people. So we have, so we have closely about 150 people watching right now, right? So kindly share so other people can join. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all. And to all those who sent me the message, inbox message, I couldn't get back to you on time. I apologize. Inshallah, I'll do better. I'll get back to you on time. Muhammad Lawal says their PhD is post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yes, that's a fact. I'm telling you, that's a fact. Post heebie-jeebies disorder. That's their PhD, right? So Mukhtar Ba says, Salam Baba, I was impatient to watch your program today since it didn't happen as usual on Wednesday. Peace. Yeah. Yeah, it usually get interrupted when the kids would want something to be done. So sometimes I put them first, right? So whenever you see me pushing the program, it has to do with it. But actually, my son he had a flu, so I had to, I had to push it. He got better. He got better. So yeah, but thanks to God, we are good now. So guys, this is Correctional Officer Baba Shuaib. I am the Correctional Officer. Baba Shuaib, the guy who the mushriks hate the most. And then they avoid also. They hate me so much that they avoid me. You ever seen a dangerous snake that you hate the snake so much that you have to avoid the snake? Yes, if you have been in that situation, you let me know. You know the feeling that you see a snake that you hate the snake so bad that you have to avoid the snake. That's how the mushriks try to avoid me, right? And one of the things that the mushriks hate for me to do is to ask them a question. The mushriks don't want Baba Shuaib to ask them a question, no matter what. They try to avoid my questions because that is their end. I'll force you to look stupid. Yes, I'm serious. So they don't like it. The mushriks, they don't like me to ask them a question. Yeah. So they feel like whenever they see Baba Shuaib online, especially on TikTok, for those on TikTok, you know what I'm saying. They want to keep bombarding me with questions and they don't know how prepared I am to answer questions. So they will be like, Baba Shuaib, I'll be the one to ask you questions. They keep throwing the answer. I say, hey, tranquilo. Now it's my turn to ask you a question. They're like, no. You are not going to ask me, Baba Shuaib. Let me ask you. I say, Akhi, you ask me a lot of questions. Let me ask you one. That one, they will force me to tell them, go and get married or go and talk to your wife. Guys, seriously. It's like Bedoinka says the thing that haunts every corner of their brains. Yeah. For a fact. Yes. Because they can see, look, I have a slogan. If you go to my Facebook page, you check the cover picture of my Facebook page. You go to my Facebook page. I'm using the same name, Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, Bush 2G9. Try to check the cover picture. It says, instead of telling somebody they are right or wrong, don't do that. Just ask the person a series of questions which challenges their belief, so that it will help them to see their own lapses, right? In order to show them their own lapses, so that they can come to their own realizations independently. So by those questions, you are pointing out some lapses in their logic. So when they see those lapses, you are not the one to tell them you are wrong or you are right. No. Because look, people have ego. So the moment you start telling a person you're wrong, they are in a quick they go in a quick defensive mode. So allow it. Just let them start stammering by answering the question, right? So you see, it's not about just answer yes or no. So I'm going to quote a particular hadith for you. Hey, salam, my brother Anas, 1923. I see you, bro. Peace. Mil Roblox official says, Mr. Baba Shuaib, salam from Kazakhstan. Wow, guys, this is the first time I've noticed somebody actually from Kazakhstan watching me. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually noticed somebody from Kazakhstan. Wow, greetings, my dear. God bless you for showing up. Wow, it's actually a small world these days, right? Somebody can be in the corners of the world and they are watching you. Yeah. Rhetorical questions is the best way of debating. Yes, it is. It is actually. Quran alone is truth. Is true. So I'm going to show you one particular hadith the mushriks like to quote to tell you that this is where it means that you are a kafir. And I'm going to show you the hadith doesn't even call you a kafir when you reject the hadith. I'm going to quote the hadith for you. and pay close attention. Whenever you see any mushrik quote this hadith, just start laughing. Laugh at them and tell them, show me in this hadith where the prophet says, I'm a kafir. Wallahi, wallahi. They have no way out. Yes. They have no way out. There's a guy called Abu Bara. He throw a challenge, says he wants to debate. I accepted the challenge. Now MFG says he has to be the mediator, the referee for the match. The guy denied. He said no, he doesn't want MFG to be a mediator. Yeah, he says no. Yeah, he denied. He says he doesn't want MFG. They always want to control the narrative to have their own people. Look, we have tolerated them so much. We always allow their people to mediate. And you see the biasments they always cause, right? You always witness what they do. Right? So now we also want to officiate the match. Right? It is me against you, Abu Bara. MFG is going to be the referee. You say, no. What? What is his reason? He says because he doesn't know MFG. Yes. So that's why MFG cannot be a referee. And for people who know me, correctional officer, I've been on Mushrik's platform to face them. Usually I don't give a damn. But today, this time going forward, I know their antics and the game of the game of chess they like to play a lot. You know, usually the mediator is in their favor. Usually, this is how they do. Right? He says, so guys, this is correctional officer Baba Shuaib. I'm the correctional officer. Sips coffee. Baba Shuaib, the guy who the mushriks hates the most. Thank you, bro. This is Abua Azaya. Thank you. Yes, only Quran part says, you are my inspiration, Baba Shuaib. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. God bless you. 2 days ago, I had a guy tell me I was wrong because I said I don't believe in hadith. Then he said I need to follow the messenger, and I asked what his message was. Then he shut up and ignored me. Yes, he will just blacklist you straight. That's how they are. They just blacklist you because their brain has not been taught to explain, to articulate things. And they are the ones who give the dumbest of examples ever. If you want to learn the dumbest of examples among the people, always listen to mushriks, especially Sunnis. They give the dumbest of excuses and examples ever. Okay. So I'm going to quote that particular hadith, right? Shout outs to all those who are watching, right? Thank you all. I'm going to quote that particular hadith. They normally like to quote for you and tell you, oh, this is where you see the prophet says, if you this, so that makes you a kafir. We are going to check. It doesn't. It doesn't say you're a kafir, right? So you go to sunnah.com. Then we go to Jami'a Tirmidhi, 2663. So I'll put it on the screen. For those who cannot see the screen from TikTok, you can write the hadith down. It's Jami'a Tirmidhi. Then you write 2663. Tirmidhi, 2663. Right? So here, I share the screen for you to see that particular hadith I'm talking about. So let's share the screen. Here, share the screen. So this particular hadith, many of times you see the mushriks quoting this particular hadith that I'm putting on the screen. So for those on Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms, you can see, and Twitch. But for those on TikTok doesn't allow me to be sharing this kind of pages. So it's quite unfortunate. They will blacklist me all of a sudden for this, right? So I try to avoid it. Yes, I see you. I see you, my elder Alhaji Atal Mahmoud. Thank you very much. I see that. I just got your message, Alhaji Atal Mahmoud. One love. I see it. I see it. I'm online right now. If you are around, Alhaji Atal Mahmoud, I'm streaming live right now. So if you can join, let me see. Yeah. I hope you are enjoying your trip in Ghana. Okay. So, yeah, salam, money. Salam to all those who are. I see, is it Al Kitab TV? Thank you for the gift. So, they will normally quote this hadith, which is Jami'a Tirmidhi 2663. Yes, Kanji. Thank you. Yes, this is the particular hadith they like to quote a lot. So this is the hadith. They say it is narrated by Ubaidullah. This says from Abu Rafi and others from the Prophet who said, "Let me not find one of you reclining on his couch when a command I ordered or a prohibition from me comes to him, and he says, I do not know. What we find in the book of God, Allah, we follow it." Now, they will quote this particular hadith many a times. I'm going to quote two hadiths, and this is the first one. This is what many a times the mushrik scholars, you hear them quoting to justify their claims. Nowhere does the hadith call you a kafir. So whenever I'm only helping you to understand, whenever you see a mushrik quote this particular hadith, tell them to show you where it says you are a kafir. Tell them where it says you are a kafir. So let's analyze the hadith. So you see here, they will normally quote La ulfiyanna ahadakum muttaki'an ala arikatihi yati amrun mimma amartu bihi aw nahaitu anhu fayaqulu la adri ma wajadna fi kitabillahi attaba'nahu. So the hadith is saying that let me not find one of you sitting or reclining on his couch when a command I ordered or a prohibition from me comes to him and he says, I do not know. What we find in the book of Allah, we follow it. Now, this statement itself, does it make sense? I do not know. I do not know. The hadith is saying what? La adri ma wajadna fi kitabillahi attaba'nahu. So, I do not know what? Is that what we are saying? We do not know? What we do not know? We do not know what? Okay. Now, this is what the hadith is saying. The hadith is narrating this statement from the Prophet. This hadith is not saying the messenger of God says. This particular hadith is saying the Prophet says. Right? Okay. This particular hadith, they are attributing it to the Prophet that the Prophet said, let me not find one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, is he talking to us? Because the last time I checked, he's dead. Prophet is dead. So, are you sure this hadith is talking to us? Even if the Prophet should say this, is he talking to us? The answer is no. He's actually talking to the people around him. And if he is talking about hadith, this particular hadith I'm quoting doesn't mention the word hadith. The Prophet never said hadith. My hadith comes to you. No. He only said, let me not find one of you reclining on his couch when a command I ordered or a prohibition from me comes to him, and he says, I do not know. What we find in the book of Allah, we follow it. Ladies and gentlemen, did the Prophet mention anything about hadith here, in this hadith? Is there anything about hadith he says, let me, my hadith come to you? No, right? Okay. Any command he commands or any prohibition, the last time I checked, it is God who does the prohibition and the command. The Prophet cannot use his own whims and desires. So whatever the Prophet has to command you or prohibit for you has to be in the words of God. فَأَقُمُ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ بِمَا أَرَاكَ اللَّهُ. Chapter 4 verse 105. God says he should judge among the people by what God has shown him. So he is not going to judge using his opinion. So there is no way God will say something, then the prophet will say something else to judge you. So for instance, chapter 66, verse 1, Surah At-Tarim, you can see God, when God asked him, "Oh, you the prophet, why do you prohibit what God has made lawful?" It clearly tells you if God makes something lawful, the prophet cannot say otherwise. So it is God who has to make things lawful and unlawful. And similarly, it is God who has to give the command. Then the prophet has to repeat the same. He doesn't have to give contrary to what God says. So now, hypothetically, this hadith, where does it say that the people who said, "I do not know," ma adri, la adri, la adri, then they said what? Ma wajadna fi kitabillah attaba'na. Where is the wrong they said in this statement? Where does it say the prophet said these people are kafirs, they are going to hell? In this hadith I just quoted, where does it say that the prophet said the people who said this, they are kafir? Where does it say that? No, right? Okay. So what I'm doing with this hadith is write it down. I want you to be able to question them when they quote the hadith. Tell them, quote the hadith. Give me the reference. Always. When you're dealing with a mushrik, even if it's a scholar, when he quotes a particular hadith, tell him, give me the reference. Because we are in the age of knowledge, in the age of technology. Look, evidence can be at the tip of your hand, just like with the blink of an eye. Tell the scholar, give me your reference. Because give me, let me check. It is not about because you are a scholar, you went to Azhar, you went to Egypt, you went to Medina, you went to... No. Just give me the reference. Let's examine it. Because even the Quran itself, God says we should reflect. We should do contemplation. So, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Why do they not contemplate the Quran? So, contemplation is allowed. So, even if you quote a garbage book to me, we need to still contemplate. Do you get up? Yes, Bobby. It's important to bring out evidence for any claim. Yes. So, the moment you say somebody is a kafir for rejecting a garbage hadith, yes. Just like in my discussion with one of the Sunnis, Otoko, he said he rejected this because that one says the Prophet married a sister, so he can decide to reject that one, even though his scholar said it is Sahih. Are you getting the point? So which means they do cherry picking. They choose whichever they like and reject. So then we have some bozos online telling people that you are a kafir just because you reject this garbage book. Okay, no problem. Show me even in the garbage book where the prophet says, "I'm a kafir for rejecting a particular hadith." I'm quoting the hadith you normally use for arguments. Let's check if the prophet actually said, "I'm a kafir." So the first one I quoted is Jami'a Tirmidhi 2663. Now we go to the next hadith. So kindly write it down if you can see on the screen. The next hadith is Jami'a Tirmidhi again, 2664. Right? That is the next hadith. So in this next hadith, this is the one the scholars like to base more emphasis on. But this is the interesting part. And I'm going to show you something that a lot of you don't pay attention when these people are quoting the hadith. Please always pay attention to their claims. In this hadith, which is Jami'a Tirmidhi 2664, most of the scholars will never quote this hadith in full. They quote portion of it and then they make their claim. I'm going to quote it, and most of you have heard this hadith before, but you never paid attention to the twisting the scholars do. Okay, so in this particular hadith, the hadith is saying that the messenger of God said, "Lo, soon a hadith from me will be conveyed to a man while he is reclining on his couch, and he says, between us and you is God's book, the book of God. So whatever we find in it that is lawful, we consider it lawful. And whatever we find in it that is unlawful, we consider it unlawful." Then the messenger says, "Indeed, whatever the messenger of God made lawful, it is the same as what God has made lawful." Ladies and gentlemen, this hadith I just quoted, where does it say whoever said this is a kafir? Where in this hadith? What I just read. Did you hear the word kafir? Hello? The hadith I just quoted. Did you hear the word kafir? I'm going to repeat the hadith again and check whether the prophet or messenger said you are a kafir for saying that statement. Let's check. The hadith says that the messenger of God said, "Lo, Soon a hadith will come from me. But what I want you to pay close attention, that you never paid attention. The hadith in Arabic, it doesn't say a hadith. He says, Al-asa rajulun, yabluguhul al-hadithu, anni al-hadith. When we say al-hadith, we are talking about the hadith. And the hadith that the Prophet only brought is the Quran. So he calls it the best hadith. As a matter of fact, Quran chapter 45 verse 6, God was telling the Prophet, Tilka ayatullahi natluha alayka bilhaq, fabi ayyi hadithim ba'dallahi wa ayati yuminun. These are the verses of God which we recite to you in truth. So in which hadith after God and his verses will they believe? This is what God asked the Prophet. So can you imagine that Prophet now coming to the people to say about another hadith? No. The hadith the Prophet was talking about, according to this hadith, is the Quran. So that is why at the end of the hadith, he says, indeed, whatever the messenger made unlawful, it is the same as what God has made unlawful. Because Quran chapter 4 verse 80 says, Man yuti'i rasula faqad ata Allah. So that is why they intentionally use the word messenger there to confuse you. The messenger only speaks what God gives him. So in this particular hadith, when the messenger was saying that, lo, soon the hadith, it is not a hadith. For people who know Arabic, take the Arabic version of this hadith. It's actually on the screen, but take the Arabic version of this hadith. It says al-hadith. It is a definite article. It is marifa. It is not adatul nakra. It is not a noun without a definite. It is a definite noun mentioned. Al-hadithu. So al-hadithu, the only al-hadithu given to the Prophet was the Quran. Nothing else. And that's why God asked him, hey, rolling dice, peace, my brother. That's why God asked him, in which hadith after God and his verses will they believe? Remember, that question was to the Prophet himself. Quran chapter 45 verse 6. So that hadith I'm quoting, Jami'a Tirmidhi, 2664. When you hear any mushrik scholar quoting, tell them quote this hadith in full. Let's check. Is it talking about your garbage hadith books, or is it talking about the Quran? It is the Quran the Prophet has been calling al-hadith, al-hadith, haz al-hadith, ahsan al-hadith, the hadith. It is the Quran. So the messenger in this hadith, he is saying, lo, soon a hadith. It is not a hadith. So the scholars will be using a hadith instead of the hadith. The hadith. I told you, we are going to use their own books to whip them. Wallahi, you mark it on the wall. I will make these bozos run away from social media. You see how they will be avoiding us. Wallahi, we have become a knapsack for them. And this is why they discuss us constantly on social media. They are having sleepless nights because they are losing their paycheck, the money their paymasters give them. They are losing. The money is coming down. So they will lose customers. And this is why they are agitated. They thought we are nobodies, but now we became somebodies, right? Okay. So now, this hadith I'm quoting, please write it down. This is not a joke. Usually the scholars will quote this hadith, and this is where they will tell you are a kafir. The hadith never calls you a kafir. As a matter of fact, any hadith follower who tells you are a kafir, tell them, give me one hadith which calls me a kafir for following the Quran. Wallahi, it doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, it is their hadith which says you are the people, you are the best among people. Yes, their own hadith. It calls you, the Quran alone follower, the best. It says you are the people of God, alullahi, according to Sunan Ibn Majah 215. Yes. Inna Allah alina minan nas. Inna lillahi alina minan nas. Manhum alul Quran alullahi wa khasatuhu. So it says the people of the Quran are the people of God, according to your own garbage book. So then how can now the hadith now go back again and call the people of the Quran kafir? No. Your own hadith says those who teach the Quran, those who learn the Quran and teach it are the best what does the hadith says? خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. That is what your own hadith book is saying. The best who learn the Quran and teach it. I'm not saying it. Your own hadith book says. That is Sahih al-Bukhari 5027. Guys, write it down. Sahih al-Bukhari 5027. 5027. Right? It says, the Prophet said, خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. The best among you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. I didn't say it. It is your own garbage book saying it. So, of course, Baba Shuaib is better than you, the mushriks, according to your own hadith. That's what your hadith says. I learn the Quran and I teach the Quran. So, yes, I'm better than you, the mushriks out there. You, the garbage preachers, preaching garbage books, being proud of garbage books. I didn't say it. Your own hadith says I'm better than you, the mushrik. Yes. And your own hadith, Sunnah and Ibn Majah, says I am part of the people of the God, but you are not. You are proud of your Sunnah. Where does it say the Sunnah, the people who follow Sunnah are the people of God? You don't have it in your hadith book. So you go quoting hadith references to justify your claims, and yet even the hadith you are quoting doesn't support your argument. Now, this is what I don't understand is with these mushriks. So what Baba Shuaib is doing is to show you that you can use the hadith book as an argument against these bozos themselves. Yes, just like they use the Bible against the Christians. Use the same book they are using against the bozos themselves. Yes. Post heebie-jeebies disorders. The guys with the post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yes, anytime you see any mushrik doing any counter video trying to twist our words on social media, please, I give you one assignment. Just write PhD, but with a abbreviation, the dots in between. PhD. P dot H dot and D. Separate that between the regular PhD for academic level. The mushriks will now be asking you, what do you mean by PhD? Yes, dragonfly, thank you. P.H.D. It means post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yes, I'm telling you. You write it. The mushriks will start asking us, what does it mean? That is what it means. Post heebie-jeebies disorder. And this officially was licensed using Muhammad hijab. You understand? So the hadith I gave you, Jami'a Tirmidhi, 2664. Write it down. Nowhere does the hadith call you a kafir. Nowhere. And the hadith the Prophet was talking about in that particular hadith is the Quran. Nothing else. That is the only al-hadith given to him. So if a sectarian wants to tell you, oh, that's not what the hadith said, then tell them chapter 45 of the Quran, verse 6. Why is it that God told him in which hadith after God and his verses will they believe? So I don't need to believe in this garbage. No. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to play these guys with the post heebie-jeebies disorder. I'm going to play some of their videos so that you know why I'm calling them post heebie-jeebies disorder, right? I'm going to play the video from this post heebie-jeebies disorders guy. Guys, so you see why they deserve that name. I saved this. So let's deal with our first mushrik for the night. Where are you? Where's the mushrik? Yes, exactly. Akiku Shashintaro, yes. The hadith is the hadith, not a hadith. But they try to lie to the people and say a hadith. No, it is not a hadith. It's the hadith. So let's continue here by playing their video to show how they try to twist things and lie to the people. So where's the first video here? Is this guy.
The Quran only sect that rejects all hadith and teachings and sayings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are not considered Muslims. And despite claiming to follow the Quran, they seem to overlook the numerous verses that tell us to obey Allah and His Messenger. Allah Azza wa Jal speaks of a specific instance where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had given permission to his people, which clearly shows that the Prophet would give specific rules and instructions outside of the Quran to his people. And that's just the start of it. There are many things in the Quran that you wouldn't know without the hadith. For example, Surah 111, may the hands of Abu Lahab perish. Who is Abu Lahab? They don't know. What invalidates your wudu? They don't know. What month do you fast for Ramadan? They don't know. How do they explain the different recitation methods of the Quran? They literally can't. The hadith do explain this, but from their point of view, they would have to say the Quran is corrupted because the meanings do vary a little bit. And most importantly, there are literally no steps on how to pray in the Quran, so they make up their own weird set of prayers, and it's very weird. And they don't have a biography of the literal prophet of Islam, which is so ignorant and infuriating to even think about. For them, the Quran just exists. How did it come to be? How was it standardized? How was it? All of these things they don't know. For them, the Quran just exists. Who protected and preserved the Quran for 1,400 years? It's the scholars that believed in Hadith. Who translated the very translation that most of these people read? The scholars that believe in Hadith. And fun fact, Quran only scholars never existed throughout all of history. And many deviant sect scholars did exist, but Quran only was never a thing. And of course, they don't really care, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did predict that a time like this would come.
God have mercy upon us.
Guys, when these people say we are not Muslim, you shouldn't get offended. You should be laughing. I'm serious. Right? It's just like a poor man calling a rich man poor. Do you expect the rich man to get angry, offended? No. The rich man will be laughing. I'm serious. When a poor man calls a rich man poor, the rich man doesn't get offended. He starts laughing. So please, when these people call you kafir, don't get offended. Just laugh. I'm serious. Please stop getting offended when these people call you kafirs. Yeah. It's high time you start laughing instead of getting angry. When I first started my lectures 8 years ago, I was, infuriated with these mushriks. I was so upset. I had enough with the BS. Yes, so I was so pissed. If you watch me from my humble beginnings, I was all out aggressive. Then it gets to a point I started laughing. Yes, peace to you, Iske. You're welcome. Yes. Then it gets to a point I started laughing. But people who don't know me from before, they will think I'm just up there mocking people. No, I'm not mocking them. It is what they are saying which is funny for me. I have to laugh because it's ridiculous. I'm not mocking them because I will say, oh, look at his beard, he looks ugly. No, that is what we call mocking. But I'm laughing at their statements. If it is funny, I have to laugh. It's funny. It's ridiculous. Just imagine watching. How can you tell me you are watching Asim Al-Hakim and you are not going to laugh? Yes, thank you. Yeah, Iske, I appreciate the support. Tell me, how can you watch Asim Al-Hakim and you are not going to watch? When I started, I was aggressive. Look, my people from Ghana started texting me and say, you are aggressive. Can you tame down? You are aggressive. Can you tame down? You sound so harsh. You are so harsh. I told them, don't worry. At the right time, you will understand why I'm aggressive. When they started watching me, do you know what they said? Baba Shuaib, you are too gentle. You are so patient. Well, if it is me, I will slap the shit out of that mushrik. I say, now I'm gentle. Now I'm patient. Now I swear to God. So now the people started telling me, hey, now you are gentle. Oh, now you. It's just that you don't understand. The point is, the point is, at this moment, I pity them. Instead of getting, I don't have a reason to be aggressive now. Yes, thank you very much. Safety Capital. He says, Baba, I love your old version. Wallah. Yes, and in the old version videos, I actually do lecturing. I lecture. I don't just sit and talk and do reactions. In the past, if you want the proper gem to take from my videos, watch my videos from 8 years, 7 years, 6 years ago. That is the videos I'm lecturing people actually. I take topics and lecture. Now, it is about just watching the heebie-jeebies and laugh. Yes. Jelly scan, thank you. It is just watching the heebie-jeebies and laugh. Yes, Salam, God alone, I see you. Right? I have no cause to get angry now. Anyways, let's go to the bozo. Thank you, Umar Satawar. He says, if God were to show a sign directly to them, they wouldn't believe. It is difficult what we call them to God alone, Quran alone. Just like Quran warned us. It's a fact. Yeah. Even if God should show them a sign, they will not believe. No. Mushriks have already made up their minds. Yes, they've made up their minds. Right? Okay, so let's deal with this bozo. Listen to him.
The Quran-only sect that rejects all hadith and teachings and sayings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are not considered Muslims.
He just passed a legislation. Do you see how they do? He just made a legislation and passed a judgment. And that's why I call them mushriks and kafirs. They are kafirs. Quran chapter 5 verse 44. Whoever does not judge by what God has revealed is a kafir. You ask this bozo one-on-one, is the garbage book you have, is it the book of God? Is it the revelation of God? No. You are using comedy books to pass a judgment. And even your comedy book doesn't call me a kafir. The garbage hadith you guys are proud of, it doesn't call me a kafir. I dare any mushrik watching me. I dare your scholars, the post-heebie-jeebies scholars you have out there. Let them find Baba Shuaib. Let's sit one-on-one. Wallahi, they will not dare. They wouldn't dare. I'm telling you. Let them come and open. Yeah, I see you, the silent Baba. Peace to you. Zegmo, thank you for coming. I appreciate your presence. Let them come one-on-one and prove to us even their hadith book where it calls me a kafir. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Wallahi, it doesn't exist. Do you get the point? Yes, peace. I see you, MFG. Mohammed, I see you, peace. So it doesn't exist anywhere where the hadith calls me a kafir. The hadith book doesn't call us a kafir. It is their scholars who are twisting the narrative and start saying, if you reject the hadith of the Prophet, the Sahih hadith, you are a kafir. That's what they do. You just ask them, show me your hadith, in your hadith, where it calls me a kafir. So I just showed you from the lecture. They will quote Jami'a Tirmidhi, 2663. It doesn't call you a kafir. Jami'a Tirmidhi, 2664. It doesn't call you a kafir. There is no hadith they have which calls you, the Quran alone follower, a kafir. No. Wallahi. But you can rather quote hadith to show them that even their hadith calls you the people of God and even says you are the best among mankind. Yes. Sunan Ibn Majah 215 says you are the people of God. Quran alone followers, you are the people of God. The Quran followers, Ahlul Quran. Because when they call you Qur'aniyun or when they say Qur'anist, it means Ahlul Quran. If you want to understand their logic, when you meet any person who calls you a Qur'aniyi or Qur'anist, just ask them, does it mean Ahlul Quran? They will say yes. Listen carefully. If you meet any Sunni, any sectarian, if he says you are a Qur'anist or he says you are Qur'aniyun as a group, just tell the person, hypothetically, it means Ahlul Quran, right? He will say yes. After he says yes, just quote his own garbage book back to him. Sunan Ibn Majah 215. The Prophet was asked that God has people, his own special people among mankind, right? The Prophet says yes. Who are they? Whom? Ahlul Quran, alullahi wa khasatuhu. So according to them, the Prophet says, the people of the Quran, they are the people of God. And exclusively to God. This is from their own garbage book. Are you getting the point? Then their own garbage book again, it says, Khairukum man ta'allama al-Quran wa allamahu. Their own hadith book, Sahih al-Bukhari, 5,000, is it 5,000? Let me give you the reference. I give 5,027. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5,027 is telling you the best among you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. Not to learn hadith, not to learn the Sunnah. The best among you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. When we claim we are following the Quran, are we teaching you any other book? It's just the book of God we teach you out there, not any other book. So we are better than the mushriks. Yeah, they know. Their own book, they can't quote any reference from their hadith book which calls me a kafir. Wallahi, it doesn't exist. Yeah, salam Baba said naganka. But rather, we can quote their own hadith book back to them to show them that we are better than them. It's simple. Nowhere in their hadith book, the whole collection they have, where it says the people of Sunnah are the people of God. Wallahi, it doesn't exist. Where it says Ahlul Sunnah are the people of God. But instead you find Ahlul Quran are the people of God. Okay. So let's listen to this bozo.
And despite claiming to follow the Quran, they seem to overlook the numerous verses that tell us to obey Allah and His Messenger.
He says, despite we claiming to follow the Quran, we seem to overlook numerous verses which tells us to obey God and His Messenger. Do we overlook such verses? Or is it you, the mushriks, twisting and misquoting the verses? So this is why we want to have a seat one-on-one with you guys. You refuse. Okay, you say we are not popular. No problem. God will get us there. But you say we are not popular. That's why you are not sitting, right? Right? Okay, allow us. Let's lecture our people. We get the right numbers. We will meet you guys. In Hausa, in my country, they say Gafili Gaduchi. It means here is the field and here are the horses. So come, let's play. The right time will come, inshallah. And then we are going to see if you guys have a way out. Wallahi lazim. We are going to see if you guys will have a way out. Now, listen to what this bozo is saying.
Allah Azza wa Jal speaks of a specific instance where the Prophet ﷺ had given permission to his people, which clearly shows that the Prophet would give specific rules and instructions outside of the Quran to his.
You see how they twist the words of God? They will read verses of the Quran, then they will say, which shows that the Prophet gave instructions out. Are you a bozo? It is the Quran telling you about this incident. Then you are now saying that the Prophet will give specific instructions out. Okay, let's check the verse of the Quran. If God actually says there is something outside the Quran. In Quran chapter 17, verse 73, listen carefully what God is going to say to this bozo. Quran chapter 17, verse 73, Surah Al-Isra'i. And I'm going to put the verse on the screen for those watching from YouTube and other platforms, right? Except TikTok, right? So let me share the screen. Sorry, this one. Here is the verse on the screen. God says, وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَفْتُنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ لِتَفْتَرِيَ عَلَيْنَا غَيْرَهُ. Now, what I want you to pay attention in chapter 17, verse 73. Salam, Idrisa Fafana and Mufti Bari, I see you. Greetings to you. Chapter 17, verse 73. Please pay attention to the word غَيْرَهُ. غَيْرَهُ. This gairahu, it is the same gairahu you are going to find in Sahih Muslim 3004, where the Prophet told them, La taktubu anni, waman kataba anni gairal Quran. Gairal al-Quran, which is one thing, one. So in Arabic, a masculine pronoun is huwa. Who, when it comes under hand is who or he. Yeah. Now, in chapter 17 of the Quran, verse 73, when God says, لِتَفْتَرِيَ عَلَيْنَا غَيْرَهُ, then he says, وَإِذًا لَاتَّخَذُوكَ خَلِيلًا. So God says, and although they almost will have enticed you, second person pronoun, away from what we inspired to you, second person pronoun, that you might fabricate other than it, masculine pronoun, singular, about us. And in that case, they will have taken you, second person pronoun, as a friend, a close friend, Khalila. Now, this verse I just quoted, it clearly shows us that the Prophet was inspired with the Quran. That is for guidance of mankind. Now, however, what people fail to realize is there's something we call personal revelations or personal inspirations that you are having, which is personal. It has nothing to do with the guidance of humanity. The Quran, this is why it says, Tanzilu min Rabbil Alameen. Tanzilu min Rabbil Alameen. It's a revelation from the world, Lord of the worlds. Tanzila. That's why Quran chapter 17 verse 105 to 106, it says, وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. The Quran is revealed by revelation. Right? So this tanzila given to Prophet Muhammad is only one. That is for the people. لِتَقْرَأُهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى مُكْثٍ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. So to the people. But anything which is personal, like the Prophet and his wives, these are personal. These issues doesn't need to go outside. It is his personal issues. These people have, to the extent, Hadith narrations on how a Prophet will sleep with his wife and how he will fondle his women. So can you imagine the honorable Prophet of God, after fondling his wife in the bedroom, no journalist, no CCTV, then he comes out. Sahabas, where are you? I slept with my wife, and before I slept with her, this is how I did. Okay, just imagine his wife coming out. My husband slept with me, and when he slept with me, this is how he did the ablution, and he told me to turn like this on the right, and sometimes he will let me raise my cloth up like this. Hello. Like these bozos, were they born by human beings or what? What is this? Is that part of guidance? So I'm wondering where that revelation of how the Prophet sleeps with his wife. I'm not joking. They have particular hadiths where he sleeps with 9 women in one night. Wallahi. That's what the hadith says. How? So the Prophet went and slept with all of them, and then the women will come out, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have guidance of news for you or revelation. The Prophet slept with us this night, all of us, 9 women. Yeah, so it's a revelation, yeah. Hey, why? Mushrikainga, why? Hey. So we have these bozo scholars, the post heebie-jeebies scholars out there, and telling us kafirs because we reject this nonsense. Hey, who born these bozos by mistake? Anyways, let's go back to the bozo. That bozo guy. Let's go back to him.
People. And that's just the start of it. There are many things in the Quran that you wouldn't know without the Hadith. For
You are a bozo. You don't study the Quran. How can you know? Quran chapter 41 verse 3. Kitabun fussilat ayatuhu Qur'anan Arabiyyan liqawmi ya'lamun. Chapter 41 verse 3. Kitabun fussilat, a book which has been explained, that is detailed. Fussila is detailed in explanation. A book which has been what? Detailed or explained in detail. Its verses. A book whose verses have been explained. Kitabu fussilat ayatuhu Qur'anan, a reading, Arabiyan, Arabic reading, liqawmi ya'lamun, for people who know. You need knowledge. You need to study. How do you get knowledge? God says, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Chapter 17, verse 36. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. So it means you have to study. Knowledge is important. You need to know. Any branch of knowledge that you know is called knowledge. So you know, you study, you know it. Qur'anic, that's why it's a book. Every book you see in this universe means meant to be studied. You have to study it to see if there's contradiction. What did the challenge God put? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوهُ فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. To Quran chapter 4 verse 82. God says, do they not contemplate the Quran? And had it been from other than God, they will have found therein numerous discrepancies. The Hadith books, do you know how many discrepancies are there? Uncountable. How can it be from God? Here is God telling you, had the Quran been from other than God, there will be numerous discrepancies. We don't have discrepancies there. You take the Hadith book, they will say, here the prophets urinated standing, or the prophet does not urinate standing. The prophet faced Qibla to pray. The prophet does not face Qibla to pray. The prophet say, kill the black dog. The prophet say, leave the dogs alive. The prophet say, kill the lizards. The prophet say, don't kill the lizard. The prophet say, you can marry 2 wives. Here he can say, you time wives. The prophet say, pray 3 prayers. Here he said, pray 5 prayers. The prophet say, I'm not better than him. Here the prophet say, I'm the best of mankind. Here the prophet say, send blessings on. Hey, my God, why? Why? Why?
Example, Surah 111, may the hands of Abu Lahab perish. Who is Abu Lahab? They don't know what.
So to them, this is the big question. Ladies and gentlemen, let me make it easy. Ask the mushriks. Yajuj and Majuj, who are they? Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog. You ask any mushrik, wallahi, wallahi. You ask them, according to the hadith, who are they? They don't know. They don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm serious. They don't know who is Gog and Magog. So when you listen to Yasir Kadi, he says, I think they are this. You listen to heebie-jeebies, he says they are this. If you listen to which are their scholars now? Zakir Naik, he says this. Mufti Menk, he says, I think they are this. They don't know. But they said the hadith explains everything. They have all the answers there. Hey, you ask them, Alif, Lam, Mim, what is the meaning? They don't know. How can you say your hadith explains everything? You don't have the answers we are looking for. Do you have? Out of your foolishness, you will not study the book of God. You're trying to override the words of God with your garbage books. Baba Shuaib will call your books garbages till eternity, inshallah. Yes. Let's continue.
Invalidates your wudu. They don't know what.
What do you mean? It's mentioned in Quran chapter 5 verse 6 and chapter 4 verse 43. What invalidates your ablution is there. Seriously. If you don't follow the criteria God gave for the ablution, the ghusl, it's invalidated. Simple. What else do you need to be told? When God says, if you have touched the women and cannot find water, so if I touch women and I cannot find water, there's an option. If I don't do that particular option, my ablution is nullified. Is it common sense? These people, the sectarians, it's a taboo to use common sense. Yeah, that's why you have people like Asim al-Hakim becoming scholars. Yeah, and they have Abu Ayman, is a Akhi Ayman, all becoming scholars. Yes, because these people, common sense is not needed. No. Let's continue.
Month do you fast for Ramadan? They don't know. How do?
Yeah, some of the Quranists, they are confused. That we know. But don't speak on all of us, behalf of us. We know which Ramadan. Month of Ramadan is clearly mentioned. And the whole world, we only know there is one calendar which has the month called Ramadan. And God is aware of this. That's why he eventually told the believers, Sharu Ramadan allazi unzila fihi al-Quran hudan linnas. So we know Ramadan is the 9th month on the lunar calendar, Hijr calendar. That we know. And some people will tell you, oh, Umar was the one who created the... Go and check the Battle of the Badr. Check the dates. the Battle of Badr. It was fought on the 17th of Ramadan, second year after Hijr. According to you, Umar created the calendar in 638 or 39 CE, common era. Go and check the date. It's not the same. It doesn't match because you believe in the Hadith. Hadith is telling you Umar created and you agree, right? It's a lie. The Hijr calendar, that's why we call it Hijrah, is the Hijr. The Prophet actually used that calendar. But you believe they are telling you that Umar created. And you believe in Hadith then? Oh, you never thought of it, huh? You believe in Hadith, that they are telling you Umar created and you believe that. No, Umar didn't create Hijr calendar. And that year they are telling you Umar created, was the Prophet there? Even that year, the common era 630, was the Prophet alive? If he was alive, what do you mean the Prophet created? Sorry, what do you mean Umar created it? Hello? Okay. Let's go.
Do they explain the different recitation methods of the Quran?
Different recitations. What do you mean different recitations method? This is what God says in Quran chapter 2 verse 121. The Quran doesn't tell us there's different recitations. No, the Quran doesn't say that. This is what the Quran says. It says, Allazina ataynahumul kitaba yatlunahu haqqa tilawatihi. Listen carefully. God says, Allazina ataynahumul kitaba, al-kitab, yatlunahu, which is a masculine pronoun, one, haqqa tilawatihi, its true recitation. That's why it says tilawatihi. He is a masculine pronoun again. So its true recitation, ulaika yuminuna bihi. They will believe in it. Waman yakfuru bihi fa ulaika humul khasirun. So God says, whoever disbelieves in it, those are the ones who are the losers. So according to God, there is only one true recitation of the Quran. One. Not two, not three. And as a matter of fact, Quran chapter 10 verse 15. Let me go to the chapter. Chapter 10 verse 15. I need to put it on the screen so people can see it. I was reading the verse. I didn't put it for you to see it. Let me put it on the screen. Sorry for this. The verse I just read, chapter 2 verse 121, it is in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allazina ataynahumul kitaba yatlunahu haqqa tilawatihi ulaika yuminuna bihi. Then he says, Waman yakfur bihi fa ulaika humul khasirun. Right? So yeah, when you go to the next chapter, chapter 10, verse 15, it is actually telling us there's only one version of the Quran at the time of the Prophet. The mushriks will tell you there are different versions. It's a lie. Okay, so let's go. فَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ بَيِّنَاتٍ. Then he says, قَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا آتِ بِقُرْآنِ غَيْرِ هَذَا أَوْ بَدِّلْهُ. Then he says, قُلْ مَا يَكُونُ لِي أَنْ أُبَدِّلَهُ مِنْ تِلْكَاءِ النَّفْسِ إِنْ أَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. Then he says, إِنِّي أَخَافُ إِنْ أَصَيْتُ رَبِّي عَذَابَ يَوْمَ الْعَظِيمِ. So it says, and when our verses are recited to them as evidences or proofs, those who do not hope to meet us say, bring a reading. Listen carefully. Qur'anin, a reading other than haza. When we say this in Arabic, haza, it's singular. One. Haza. Bring a Quran other than this. The one you are reading to us, you the Prophet, bring another one other than this. So if there were other versions of the Quran, the Prophet will happily tell them, okay, you know what? You don't believe in this version. Let me bring another version for you. Simple. They told him, bring a Quran other than this. And listen to the response the Prophet is going to give. Then they say, Aubadilhu. Say, the messenger now is say, it is not for me to change it. So you see, masculine pronoun again, ubadilahu. One. It is not for me to change it by myself spontaneously. I only follow what is inspired to me. Indeed, I fear the punishment of a terrible day if I should disappoint my Lord. Then it continues. Verse 16, chapter 10, verse 16. Kul law sha'allahu ma talawtuhu alaykum wala adrakum bihi. He says, say, if God had willed, I will not have recited it to you. Listen what God is saying here. He told the messenger to tell them, if God had willed, I will not have recited it. So talawtuhu is talking about a masculine pronoun, which is the Quran. One, I will never have recited it to you, nor will I inform you of it. For I have lingered among you a lifetime before it. Will you then not reason? Afala ta'qilun. Now, this is the word, the statement, when you used to the mushriks, it pinches them to the core. If you like to understand what I'm saying, if you are talking to a mushrik, just tell him, Afala ta'qilun. I'm serious. This statement, it explodes every mushrik you talk to. Afala ta'qilun. Will you then not reason? Because mushriks don't reason. They don't know how to reason, by the way. Because Buhari didn't show them how to reason. It is not in the curriculum. Anyways, let's go back to the mushrik. The mushriks are going to be pissed off. Anyways, let's continue.
They literally can't. The hadith do explain this, but from their point of view, they would have to say the Quran is corrupted because then.
No. Akhi, our brains are not yours. We are not from Temu. Please. We are not saying Quran is not what Quran is not. You ever seen a believer, Quran alone, saying Quran is corrupted? No. Akhi, it is you and your likes of bozos out there that post heebie-jeebies disorder guys. You are the guys saying Quran is corrupted. Yes, they said the guy, there's a mushrik, Ahmed, help him. Yes, the mushrik Ahmed, please wait. I will bring you as a guest. If you are here, Ahmed, is there a mushrik here? Ahmed? In the comment section on TikTok. Ahmed. So please, he said, can you read Quran without look at the screen? Oh, seriously? Oh my God. Okay, you come. I will let you read without looking at the screen. You open and let's see. Look at the foolishness. Oh. Can you read the Quran without reading at the screen? Can you read the Quran without looking at the screen? Oh my God. So you're asking me, that's a difficult question, right? So this is a difficult question you're asking me. Why are you so bozos like this, bozo-fied like this? You the mushriks, your brain is not functioning properly. Oh, the dumbest, if you are looking for the dumbest of questions, it's always come from the Sunnis, especially, and the mushriks. The dumbest of questions. And they think they are making sense. Look, the video I'm playing, the guy is going to ask one of the dumbest questions. You watch.
Meanings do vary a little bit. And most importantly, there are literally no steps on how to pray in the Quran. So
even in your Hadith book, you don't have a direct steps from beginning to end where Prophet showed you how to pray. It doesn't exist. You cherry pick Hadith collections and join them together to formulate a prayer. Yes, you don't have the prayers from beginning to end where the Prophet showed you that. Where he says start with the ikama and end with the salam. Nowhere. So what you do is you go and cherry pick verses from your Hadith book and join them together. And then you have prayer. But you keep throwing the argument to the Quran. Whilst God has given you example. You go to Quran chapter 4 verse 102. Out of your foolishness, didn't you see the Prophet establishing a prayer? وَإِذَا كُنْتَ فِيهِمْ فَأَقَمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةِ. Chapter 4 verse 102. Didn't you see God giving you example of the Prophet leading a salat? Didn't you see him standing? Didn't you see him prostrating? Didn't he tell you salah ends with prostration? What else do you need? Do you think Quran is talking to daycare nursery people? Quran is talking to people of intellect. I know you, the mushriks, your brains are from Temu, so you cannot use your reasoning. Yes.
make up their own weird set of prayers, and it's very weird. And
No, so yours, you didn't make it up. No, the one you, the mushriks, are doing is not a makeup. Why? Oh my God. Yeah, and he added the word weird. Okay, no problem.
they don't have a biography of the literal prophet of Islam.
Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you watching Baba Shuaib right now? So let's assume I'm Prophet Muhammad right now sitting down. How many of you know the biography of Baba Shuaib? Is that what you are here for? Right now, you are watching me. Is that what you are here right now for? When I did my translation of the Quran, when I wrote my book, referred to the Quran, and the other book I'm writing, I can choose to start writing the date I was born, who are my parents, it is irrelevant because I don't want to shift the goalposts to an irrelevant situation where people will be so much induced into my personal life. So you can see, even to write about myself, I just went straight to the point. It's just a short clip to give you where I arrived to the knowledge. It is what is important, how I arrived to the knowledge I have. Not about, oh, I was born in this small village. What do you need that village for? No, the village, what do you need it for? My parents, what do you need to know them for? So imagining me going on the day of judgment, standing in front of God, and then God will say, angels, can you bring the file? Call that guy. Baba Shuaib, come here. Oh, yeah, take your this thing. What is the biography of the prophet? So God will say, if I don't know the biography of the prophet, I'm going to hell. Can you imagine? Biography. So if I don't know the biography, is that part of the guidance? Because the last time I checked, Quran chapter 2, verse 38, God says, the guidance will come from me to you. And when my guidance comes from me to you, whoever will follow my guidance will neither fear nor grieve. That's what God says. The guidance God gave, chapter 45, verse 11 of the Quran, it says, Haza hudan. Whoever disbelieves in the verses of God will have a rough, painful punishment. The last time I checked, he didn't say whoever rejects the biography of the prophet. Neither does he say, I need the biography of the prophet to follow the words of God. Because the last time I checked, Quran, the words there are the words of God. That's what I need to follow. Why is this guy, the table brains they have, functioning so backwards? So now I'll go in front of God. God will say, Baba Shuaib, since you don't know the biography of the prophet, you don't know who his wife is, you don't know if he married a 6-year-old girl according to the mushriks, so you are going to hell. Ahi. Like, seriously. So the Quran doesn't tell us the biography of the prophet, so we are going to hell automatically. Hey!
Which is so ignorant and infuriating to even think about. For them, the Quran just exists. How did it come to be? How was it standardized? How was it? All of these things they don't know. For them, the Quran just exists.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you are expecting a parcel from USA, okay, for people who order the Great Quran, when you got your copy, are you more concerned of where the parcel does a transit, or you are concerned of receiving the parcel? Are you more concerned whether it passes through Germany and passes through? Are you more concerned about that? No, you are more concerned about the package being in front of you. If you are going to be asking us, where did I get? You see, let me show you what some of the dumbest questions they will ask you. The copy of the Quran you have, where did you get it from? Where did you get? I got it from the library. Then the moment you say I got it, they get offended. They get offended. Then they say, who put it at? I don't give a damn who put it at the library. I just went to the library and I got it. Who put it? I say I don't care who put it at the library. I said I went to the library, I saw it on the shelf, and I took it. They say, but who owns the library? How is like mushriks? They will be asking you questions, and you'll be thinking, it's like they just came to the world and they have to learn how to ask questions. I'm serious. Who gave you the Quran? God. No, I'm not talking. I know we all know it's God. But who gave you the Quran? I still said God. No, are you saying nobody gave you the Quran? It came from God? Yeah, it came from God. Okay, where did you get it? Okay, I got it from the library. Who put it at the library? How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to answer you? Who put it in the library? I got it. The book is claiming to be from God. So I'm reading it. Then they will tell you, hey, any book can claim, okay, where is the other books who claims to be from God? Bring it. Let's check. The other books which are claiming to be from God, you bring it. Let's check.
Who protected and preserved the Quran for 1,400 years? It's the scholars that...
Oh my God. So God couldn't do his own work. So God is so weak, according to you, the mushriks. He's so weak, he cannot protect his... He cannot protect his own book for 1,400 years. So it takes the like of who? Hey, like...
believed in Hadith, who translated the very translation that most of these people read, the scholars that believe in Hadith.
They said the translations you are reading are the scholars who believe in the Hadith. Yeah, that's what they say. When I take this copy of the Quran, when I open the first page here, and I go, it says designed, transliterated, and translated by Shuaib Abdullahi, Ghana/Finland. I don't see any scholar of Hadith in this one. Yeah, so that is why we also did the translation, so that you guys who don't run your mouth and say, oh, it is our scholars who translated your... By the way, Yusuf Ali's translation is the dumbest translation ever. It's the weakest translation ever. Yeah. Yeah, Yusuf Ali. Yeah. It is the dumbest and the weakest ever. He's a Sunni, by the way, Sunni scholar. Long time ago. It is like a daycare translation. I'm not joking. I'm saying this specifically because he's a Sunni, to tell you. And Saudi Arabia approved it. Now, by the way, for people who need the Great Quran, it's available, right? It's available. Since last week, you can get your copy. The hard copies are available. So anyways, yes, exactly. Maseu Khan says, it always hits me the most when they say that they are PhDs. Yes, post heebie-jeebies scholars preserve the Quran, not Allah, yet they want to claim that they are not mushriks. They are mushriks. Yeah, exactly. You don't have PhD. I don't have post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yes, Mohammed says, Shuaib, you are a Hadith scholar. You study stand-up comedy through it. No, it's a fact, actually. I studied comedy from the Hadith books, to be honest. Yes, that is where I studied Hadith books. Guys, you know, are you aware that the best Hadith narration is the particular Hadith which tells you the Prophet went to the sky to bring the 50 prayers, and it was negotiated to 5 prayers? That's the best Hadith narration, actually. That Hadith has a problem. Guys, I noticed something you guys didn't notice. Are you aware that when the Prophet went to take the 5 prayers, he didn't take the method of the prayer, how it should be done and everything? It's not part of what he went to bring. I don't know. Did they write it for him on something, leaflet or something? No, it doesn't say that. Right. And according to them, Sahih al-Bukhari 350, the Prophet brought 2 rakats for each prayer, which is 5, which has to be 10. But later on, after God saying his words does not change, it changed again to 17. So from 2 rakats making 10 for 5 prayers, it became 17. Are you aware of that? It changed actually. Well, that's the mushriks. They will have an explanation always for. Yeah, Mariam says yes. Aha. Okay, so let's continue with this guy, right? This mushrik. Let's continue with him. Somebody says, I can never understand Yusuf Ali's translation. Yeah, it is confusion, full of confusion in his translation, right? So this is the reason, the justification that the mushriks will tell you you can't understand the Quran unless you read the Hadith, because they have made the translations a mess. Even Sahih International, if you read their translations, they are going to give you a headache. Yes, that's Sahih. You know, it is done by 3 females, right? If you read the translation of Sahih International, they are even there to give you headache. And all these are approved by Saudi Arabia. Sahih International approved by Saudi Arabia. Yusuf Ali approved by Saudi Arabia. Right? The moment you are a Quran alone follower, don't expect Saudi Arabia to approve your translation. No Quran alone follower. If you translate the Quran for Saudi Arabia to approve, they will not approve. No. Right? They are gatekeeping. Yeah. They are gatekeeping.
And fun fact, Quran only scholars never existed throughout.
He says, fun fact, Quran only scholars, well, Prophet Muhammad is Quran only. As a matter of fact, he's our number 1 scholar, by the way. These mushriks are bozos, wallahi. Quran only scholars. Prophet Muhammad is our first scholar, actually, because according to the mushriks, khuluqu Quran, his character, everything he did was based on the Quran. So that's our first scholar. And according to the Quran, chapter 27, verse 91 to 92, وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَأَنْ أَتْلِوَ الْقُرْآنِ. He has been commanded to recite the Quran. And وَأُوهِيَ إِلَيَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ لِأُنْزِرَكُمْ بِهِ وَمَنْ بَلَغَ. So the Quran was what the Prophet was inspired with to warn the people. Quran chapter 6, verse 19. فَذَكِّرْ بِالْقُرْآنِ مَنْ يَخَافُ وَهِيدٍ. Chapter 50, verse 45. It was the Quran he was asked to remind the people with. So it was throughout the Quran. Prophet Muhammad was a scholar of the Quran throughout history, right? And when he was dying, Umar followed suit. Umar told the people, the book of God is sufficient for us. And when the Prophet was dying, according to Sahih al-Bukhari 5669, it clearly tells us there is no Hadith book. There was only the Quran. So if there was Hadith book, Umar would say, the Prophet is dying, he's sick. Why are you guys fighting when we have the Quran and Sunnah, or we have the Quran and Hadith book? He says, Hasbuna kitabullah. Wa indakul Quran, Hasbuna kitabullah. You see? So according to them, the Prophet was saying, bring a paper, let me write for you something which will not go astray. But the same Prophet in their Hadith book is telling them that if you hold on to the book of God, let me quote the Hadith for you. That is Sahih Muslim 1218 and the letter A. Sahih Muslim 1218 and the letter A. What does the Hadith say? According to the Hadith, the Prophet said, قد تركت فيكم ما لن تضلوا بعده إن اهتصمتم به كتاب الله. According to the Hadith, it says, the Prophet says, I have left among you something which will never lead you astray if you hold on to it, which is the book of God. So according to this Hadith I just quoted, if the Prophet actually said this, then the Hadith is full of heebie-jeebies. Because this statement, the Prophet said, I have left among you something which will never lead you astray, which is the Quran, the book of God. How can you now tell us, how can you now tell us that when he was dying on his deathbed, Sahih al-Bukhari 5669, he now told the people to bring a paper, let him write something for them which they will not go astray? Does it mean the Quran he left for them, they will go astray? So Umar was right when he told them, the Prophet is sick. قَدْ غَلَبَ عَلَيْهِ الْوَجَعُ. He says the Prophet is sick. Then he says, وَإِنْدَكُمْ الْقُرْآنِ حَسْبُنَا كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. Whilst the Quran is with you, the book of God is sufficient for us. So Umar was not mistaken. It was based on what the Prophet already said. that the book of God is sufficient. As a matter of fact, according to the Sunnis, when you die and you go to your grave, and then the angels come to you, they will say, "Man Rabbuka," who is your Lord? "Ma dinuka," what is your religion? "Ma kitabaka," what is your book? Have you checked that part? What is your book? You will say Quran, Kitabullah. You are not going to say Kitab wa Sunnah. You are not going to say Kitab wa Hadith. You are going to say Quran. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a problem. The scholars have actually scammed you. Because according to them, you go and check the hadith I'm quoting. That haven't you heard it before when you were kids in the madrasas? They tell you, the scholars who say you have to learn Arabic because on the day of judgment, when you die, you go to your grave, you are going to speak Arabic. They are trying to make you an Arabian by force. Okay, no problem. You go to your grave, "Man Rabbuka," who is your Lord? "Ma dinuka," what is your religion? "Man nabiyuka," who is your prophet? "Ma kitabaka." Hey, "Ma kitabaka," why don't you say Bukhari and Muslim and so on? Because the last time we checked, you have something we call Kutubu Sitta, 6 books. You have Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Jami'a Tirmidhi, An-Nasa'i, Ibn Majah. You have all these books, right? It's Kutubu Sitta. They are books. But when the angel is asking you, what is your book of faith? You are going to say Quran. Why don't you say Kitab wa Sunnah? And why don't you say Kitab wa Hadith? Guys, they duped you. You never checked, right? That's what the Hadith say. You are going to say only the book of God is your book. They lie to you.
All of history. And many deviant sect scholars did exist, but Quran only was never a thing.
Because you guys want to overlook it, that the Prophet himself was Quran only. The Prophet never followed any other book. As a matter of fact, that is why in Sahih Muslim 3004, he told the people, "La taktubu anni, waman kataba anni ghayra al-Quran, falyamhuhu wa hadithu anni." Do you see the point? Do not write anything from me except the Quran. If you write anything from me other than the Quran, you should what? Efface it, wipe it out, erase it. Do you see the point? And narrate from me. So narrating from me doesn't mean write from me. There's a difference. If I say narrate something, doesn't mean write it. Because when you write it, you are trying to make it a source of legislation. That's why a reference point. When it's not written, it means it's not important. You ask every mushrik the tafsir of the Prophet Muhammad. They say he is the best mufassir of the Quran, but they don't have his tafsir that he made the people write it down to be given to the people. It doesn't exist. Where they say the tafsir of Muhammad, here is the copy. They don't have it. They will just bring Ibn Kathir, Qurtubi, Bagawi, Sadi, Ibn Abbas, and so even Ibn Abbas, they don't have the copy he wrote himself. The book they have, the Tanwir al-Mikbas or whatever, it was just allegedly claiming that Ibn Abbas wrote it. That's it. But he didn't write that copy. Are you seeing what the problem here? Okay. What kind of emotional mushrik is crying foul on my YouTube page? Aliyu 978, he says, "Baba Shuaib, you call every Muslim a mushrik." No, I don't call Muslims mushrik, to be honest. I never ever call any Muslim a mushrik. He says, "You call every Muslim a mushrik, but you and your followers are clear mushriks." Oh, this is emotional damage. Emotional damage. Are you emotional? When you wait, when I open the phone lines, you can call. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice when you are shaking to speak to me, right? So when I open the phone lines, please call, okay? Aliu, don't be emotional, okay?
Of course, they don't really care, but the Prophet ﷺ did predict that a time like this would come.
You see, at the end of the video, he says the Prophet did predict that a time like this, that is the hadith they normally quote. Jami'a Tirmidhi 2663 and Jami'a Tirmidhi 2664. Write it down. I just spoke about this in the beginning. It doesn't say anything. Prophet never said that we are kafirs. He doesn't say, oh, there will be a time somebody reclining on his couch and he says, follow only the Quran. Guys, they are lying. They are lying. They are lying. Away with this bozo. He's just useless. Let's go with another bigger mushrik. Right? There's another bigger mushrik. I need to play his video. Then I'll open the phone lines. This is the other bigger mushrik here.
الناس من يقول نكتفي بالقرآن دون السنة. هذا غير صحيح. لأن الاكتفاء بالقرآن هو في الاكتفاء بفهمك أنت. والسنة كما قال الشافعي هو فهم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم للقرآن. فكيف تكتفي بفهم قاصر بعد 14 قرنا لا يحسن من العربية شيئا، وإن أحسن طرفا ضعيفا منها، لا يعرف غريبها ولا يعرف بيانها ولا يعرف تراكيبها وسياقها. ثم إن ذلك الذي يزعم أنه مكتف بالقرآن عما عداه هو في الحقيقة كأنه يقول إن فهمي أجود من فهم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأحسن من تبيينه وتوضيحه. نحن نقول نعم، القرآن فيه كل شيء، وفهم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وبيانه ووحي الله عز وجل له وإقراره لما فهمه أدق وأوضح من بيانك وتوضيحك. الأمر الثاني أن الأمة أجمعت على معان كثيرة في القرآن، وكل من ادعى الاستغناء بالقرآن من متأخر الناس هو في الحقيقة إنما يريد هدم الدين، ليفسر القرآن بمعان لا يدل عليها القرآن ولا تقبلها العربية.
Okay. Another Salafi mushrik. He's a Salaf mushrik, right? Okay. Let's examine the claims he's making. Let's examine the claims he's making. He said,
الناس من يقول نكتفي بالقرآن دون السنة.
Some people say the Quran alone is sufficient without the Sunnah. So it baffles me when they pass on this kind of fatwas. When we say fatwa, we are talking about legal opinion, right? It baffles me when they are passing on these fatwas, right? But let me show you why we have become a knapsack for these people. We become a force to reckon with, right? Quran alone following is actually bigger in the Middle Eastern side than you see in the Western world. Yes, it's a big thing there. Yeah, in the Middle Eastern zone, Quran alone following is a big thing. It's way bigger. Yes, it's just that the social media side, because it's in Arabic language, so you might not see it. So in the English part, you might think, yes, but we are giving the English ones pressure. But then Quran alone is a massive following, has a massive following agenda in the Middle Eastern zone. And this is why you see these mushrik scholars in the Middle Eastern zones passing on fatwas against us, just as sometimes the Sunnis did against the Shiites, right?
هذا غير صحيح.
He says this is not sahih, this is not authentic, meaning it is not right, right? It is not right. It is incorrect. Okay.
لأن الاكتفاء بالقرآن
Because by saying the Quran is sufficient alone, is in reality sufficient with your own understanding. This is the claim. In order to say the Quran is sufficient, it means you are trying to say, right, in reality sufficient with your own understanding.
اكتفاء بفهمك أنت والسنة كما.
Then now he says, and the Sunnah as al-Shafi'i, he is going to mention Shafi'i, Imam Shafi'i. They are Imams. You know, they have Shafi'i, Ambali, Maliki, Hanafi, these four top scholars. Just as the Christians have the four book of Gospels, these four saints who write for them the Gospels. Same. The mushriks, look, they are the same lineage, the same caricature type of, cult. So listen, he's going to quote what Shafi'i said. He said what?
ما قال الشافعي هو فهم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Shafi'i said, is the prophet's understanding of the Quran. Where do you have the understanding of the prophet? No, where do you have it? We want to see it. Where is it?
الله عليه وسلم القرآن. فكيف تكتفي بفهم قاصر؟
So how can you settle for a deficient understanding 14 centuries later? Now we ask you, show us the understanding of the prophet. First of all, show us where it is. Not from garbage books. You show us a tangible source. Let's check. God has given us brains and hearts that we can re-examine things with it. We can scrutinize things with it and know if it is coming from God or not.
بعد 14 قرنا لا يحسن من العربية.
Then he says, of someone who barely knows Arabic. Which of the Arabic? Which one? Is it the one from Sudan, the one from Yemen, the one from Egypt, the one from Jordan, the one from Saudi, the one from Emirates, Moroccan, Libyan version, Algerian? Which of the Arabic is he talking about? Because last time I checked, the Quran is lisanun Arabiyyan mubin. Lisanun Arabiyyan mubin. It's a clear Arabic language. That is the Quran. Yes, the one of the Quran is a clear Arabic language. So if you said a person doesn't know Arabic, which of the Arabic language are you talking about? Oh my God. Let's continue.
شيئا وإن أحسن طرف.
Or knows only a superficial portion of it. He knows. Now this statement is not, he is not talking against the Arabs in the Arab world, right? This statement, they are watching us. Yeah, they are watching us. Especially sometimes it's amazing. Look, I have an Arabian person from Australia. He's an Arabian. His name is Murad. Murad, I don't know if he's still watching me. There's a day Murad had a personal conversation with me. He says, Baba, you are dangerous. And I said, why? He says, how can you know the Quran more than most of us, the Arabians? He said. And I said, it's the gift of God. The Quran belongs to God. He chooses to give it to whomever he wills. I'm not saying I know Arabic more than Arabians. It's impossible. But I can understand the Quran more than Arabians. Yes, it's possible. So he asked me that question. He says, look, he says, man, I don't agree with you, but when I watch you, you amaze me, he said. And this is coming from somebody who hates me. He's an opposition, but we're just having a conversation. And he's telling me his perception about me. And he says, man, look, I watch your lectures. I'm trying so bad to prove you wrong. All I can say is, oh, maybe you cannot pronounce some words like the way we are. I said, because I'm not a native. So don't expect me to have the eloquence. I can only have the eloquence when I sit in an Arabian land. That's when I can have that accent, the eloquence of pronunciation. That's why accent plays a major role depending on the location you find yourself. Right? So right now, even if it is a white man born in Africa, you end up having African accents. You go to South Africa and check. The whites in South Africa, a lot of them have African accents. Are you getting my point? So sometimes the accent will play a role. So if you're born in that the eastern zone of Africa, like you're born in Sudan and Somalia and so on, when they learn Arabic language, their accent comes like the Arabian accents. So they can have the closest pronunciation to words. So when I pronounce a word, when an Arabian is listening to me, he knows I'm not a native. That's only the difference. Are you getting my point? So now, when I'm dealing with sectarians, the only thing they can tell me is, oh, you cannot pronounce the words like the way we pronounce that. What? Excuse me, what? So, no, so, are you getting my point? They want to base their emphasis on pronunciation instead of understanding, then that's a problem. If you're going to be basing your argument on pronunciation instead of understanding, then you are a fool. Because pronunciation doesn't actually mean you are intellectual. Just because you can pronounce something, it doesn't make you an intellect. Are you getting the point? So this is what they fail to realize. But anyways, let's listen to this Salafi mushrik. He's making a point. Let him finish.
ضعيفا منها لا يعرف غريبها ولا يعرف بيانها.
He says, who does not know its rare vocabulary nor its rhetoric, that is bayanaha, meaning its explanation, but of course sometimes the dubbing, that is the translation, they are putting at the subtitles, they can choose some choice of words. But let's see.
ولا يعرف تراكيبها.
Nor its grammatical structures, nor its what? Context.
وسياقها.
Okay, siyaka, when you say siyaka al-kalam, siyaka is the context, right?
ثم إن ذلك الذي يزعم أنه.
And furthermore, the one who claims to suffice with the Quran alone, which the Prophet actually did, which Umar also did,
ما عدا هو في الحقيقة كأنه يقول.
Is in reality saying, my understanding. Now, they are going to pitch us against the Prophet. This is what they do. When we make a statement, they always ask us a question. Do you think you are better than the Prophet? What kind of stupid question is that? Where did we claim we are better than the Prophet? All we are saying, if you say the Prophet did a tafsir, bring the tafsir, let's check. If the Prophet, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this argument. If you are claiming you have the tafsir of Prophet Muhammad, how come you have the tafsir of your scholars again? What do they have to add? If the Prophet already did a tafsir, I repeat, if you, the mushriks, are claiming the Prophet Muhammad is the best mufassir of the Quran and that he has done all the tafsirs already, then how come you have Ibn Kathir, Ibn Taymiyyah, Tabari, Qurtubi, Bagawi, Saad, Jalalain, Muwatta, Malik, and so on? What do we need the tafsirs for? Put it to the trash. If the Prophet, I repeat, if the best of mufassirs, which is the Prophet according to you, you said he's the best explainer of the Quran. If he has already explained the Quran, I repeat, why do you need from Ibn Abbas, Ibn Kathir, Ibn whatever, and the Ibns, and then the Kathirs, Qurtubi, Bagawi, Saad, and so on? What do you need the tafsir for? Because they don't agree with each other. When you take Jalalain, his tafsir differs from Qurtubi. When you take Qurtubi, it differs from Saad or Bagawi. They don't agree. So if the Prophet has already done it, why do you need Tabari? Because when you go to the sectarians, they all have different point of views when it comes to tafsirs that they want to follow. So if the Prophet has done the tafsir, ladies and gentlemen, ya ikhwa, let's leave the trash. Let's throw the trash away and then hold the tafsir of Prophet. But you guys say the tafsir of Prophet Muhammad was not written. I'm waiting to see tafsir al-Muhammad Rasulullah. It doesn't exist. The tafsir al-Muhammad Rasulullah. They have tafsir al-Qurtubi and so on. But you don't have the tafsir al-Muhammad. Bring it. If we have that, why are we wasting our time listening to dead scholars who never use smartphones, who don't know even how intellect of AI works? I'm serious. Why are you wasting our times? Look, the Arabian scholars, if you are listening to us, if you have the tafsir of Muhammad, which you claim is the best of mankind, which you claim is the best prophet, which you claim he is the best of everything, no problem. Bring it the tafsir of the best man to walk on earth, according to you. Bring it. Because if it is there, what do we need the Qurtubis and the bees for? What do we need that for? Or did the sheep or the goat eat it? Or others? Did the sheep eat that one? Because the last time I checked, there was a verse of stoning for zina, when it was put under the pillow at the time of the Prophet, and then the goat came and ate, the sheep went and ate it. So I don't know if this one also, the tafsir of Muhammad, maybe they wrote it down and then the sheep went and ate it. I don't know. We have to investigate that sheep, because the last time I checked, it is the sheep you have to be stoning, not lizards. Lizards, how can you say that when Abraham was about to be burnt, lizard was nodding yes, yes, so that is why they have to burn the lizard? So they have to burn the lizard, but the sheep who ate the verses of the sheep who ate the verse you claim, nobody is stoning the sheep. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, you don't agree with me? That the sheep, they claim who he ate the paper, the verses were of stoning, the zina. Nobody is stoning the sheep. We have to be stoning the sheep. Or what do you think? Because lizard didn't do anything. Lizard, they are burning Abraham. They want to burn Abraham. And then lizard was nodding. Yes, yes, yes. Finish it. So that's why they said, according to that, they said the prophet said you should stone every lizard. That's the reason. What has the lizard done? God, imagine God create. But hey, the lizard, did they say you should? I didn't hear chameleon. Did they say we should stone chameleons also? You know chameleon, right? The animal that takes different colors is just related with the lizard. The one who walks slowly. It is also nodding because it nods. So, guys, we need to ask the Sunni scholars: is the chameleon part of it? They're stoning because hey, Allah Mushrikainga. Why? Why? Oh my God, my God. It's okay, it's okay. Let's continue.
فهمي أجود من فهم النبي صلى الله.
Then they are saying that we said my understanding is better than the understanding of the Prophet. Well, bring us the understanding of the Prophet, please. Biko, Baba Shuaib is asking you. I'm making a petition. Please bring us the understanding of the Prophet. I don't need your scholars. I don't need Qurtubi. I don't need anybody. Please bring me the understanding of the Prophet. Who did the Prophet claim to say that Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj, who are they according to the Prophet? I want to know this answer. Alif, Lam, Mim, according to the Prophet. Please, I want to know this answer. Help us out. Please.
عليه وسلم وأحسن من تبيينه وتوضيحه.
And superior to his explanation and clarification. Is that what we claim? Did we ever claim we are superior to the Prophet? Did we ever claim we know the Quran better than him? No. No. Why are these mushriks trying to give us a case and try to make the foolish ones among them haters for no reason? And because they know among their people, some people will fail to use their brains. Look, it got to a point in Ghana, the scholars were tagging me as the enemy of the Prophet. Wallah, I'm not joking. For those based in Ghana, you ask them, they will tell you. It got to a time, the scholars in Ghana were tagging me as the enemy of the Prophet. If not because I stood my grounds to be able to go to Ghana, talk to people, meet people, and tell them, look, I'm not the enemy of the Prophet. If the scholars are saying I'm the enemy of the Prophet, let them bring my videos where I'm insulting the Prophet. Let's see. Let them bring the videos. They don't have it. Now my people in my community have started asking the scholars. Whenever they make an allegation, my people ask them, can you bring the video where Baba Shuaib is insulting God or Prophet? Let's see. Bring it. Because gone are the days. Back in the days, they will just put a snare. They will lie against you. They will just tell their people, hey, this guy, he hates God and his Prophet. If he comes here, beat him. So the people will not even waste the time to question you, to listen. They will just be fighting you and hating you out of nothing. But God being gracious and merciful, he gave me the grounds to know how to deal with my people intellectually. Now, whenever I go to Ghana, I swear to God, ask Ghanaians, they'll tell, whenever I go to Ghana, no scholar wants to meet me. No scholar wants to come out and face me. None.
نحن نقول نعم القرآن.
Then he says, we say yes, the Quran contains everything. Really?
فيه كل شيء وفهم النبي صلى الله عليه.
And the Prophet's understanding and explanation is what?
وسلم وبيانه ووحي الله عز وجل له
And the revelation of God to him and his approval of what he understood
وإقراره لما فهمه أدق وأوضح
is more precise and clearer than your explanation and clarification. We agree. No problem. But where is the understanding and tafsir of Muhammad? We are still asking you this question. You people cannot answer us. Where is it? Please, when you meet any Sunni scholar, when you meet any Shia scholar, ask them, where is the tafsir of Prophet Muhammad? If they say it is in the Hadith, tell them, bring it. The whole of it, bring it. Wallahi, they don't have it. They are blackmailing you. They are scamming you. They are defrauding you by twisting the narrative and tell you the Hadith books are actually the explanation of the Prophet. It's a lie. If you take, for instance, Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, Nana Aisha is narrating. Listen, according to the Hadith, Abu Huraira is narrating that Nana Aisha said, right, that the Prophet slept with her, married her at the age of 6 and slept with her, right, when she was 9 years. Tell me, is it the Prophet's understanding here? This Hadith I just quoted, is it the words of the Prophet? This Hadith I just quoted, does he explain any verse in the Quran? So what nonsense are these people telling me? These people with the brains from Temu, what are they telling us? That Hadith is the explanation of what? Quran? This Hadith I just quoted has nothing to do with the Prophet. How can this Hadith explain the Quran? What verse does he explain?
بيانك وتوضيحك. الأمر الثاني أن
Then the second point, the Muslim community has reached consensus on many meanings in the Quran. So now it's just consensus, huh? This bozo guy, this Salafi bozo, he said the Muslim community has reached consensus on many meanings in the Quran. So now it's by consensus. So the Prophet doesn't have an understanding. Because the last time I checked, if the Prophet has an understanding, there doesn't need to be a consensus. What is that? Consensus for what? If the Prophet already had the understanding, we all have to follow. Why do we need to have a consensus about a particular meaning to something? Because then that means the Prophet has already given the meaning. Are you with me? If the Prophet has already given the meaning, why do we need consensus on Muslim communities again? Do you see where the logic is not logicking? You get my point? The logic is not logicking in this side. If you claim we have to follow the understanding of the Prophet, which means he already gave a meaning to everything, right? Okay. So why does the Muslim community need consensus on meanings again?
الأمة أجمعت على معان كثيرة في القرآن وكل من ادعى
And anyone among later generations who claims to dispense with anything beyond the Quran
بالقرآن من متأخر الناس وفي الحقيقة إنما يريد
is in reality seeking to demolish the religion.
هدم الدين ليفسر القرآن
In order to interpret the Quran with meanings that the Quran does not indicate.
بمعان لا يدل عليه القرآن ولا
And that the Arabic language does not accept.
تقبلها العربية.
Yeah, well, if it is not in the Arabic vocabulary, I agree. The moment it is not found in the Arabic vocabulary, that I agree with you. That the person is trying to, like we had some recent Quran alone followers who will be twisting words and bringing some meanings which is not found in Arabic vocabulary or the chain of Arabic language. You don't find it there, right? So that point I agree with you, Salafi Bozu or scholar. The point is, when you tell us the Prophet has the explanation or understanding, that is what we have to follow. Then it doesn't have to be by consensus or any somebody's opinion again or meaning again. I don't know whether these scholars get what they are when they say something. Do they understand it themselves? I don't think when they speak they listen to themselves. It's obvious they don't pay attention to themselves, but there's a problem to this, right? Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today's lecture has to do with these people talking about the Quran alone followers, right? I'm done with them. I gave you the evidences you need for that, right? Let me open the lines for TikTok, right? Some people will be calling from TikTok, and I'll open the line. People can call me direct on WhatsApp. I put the number on the phone screen. You can call whilst I'm picking people randomly on TikTok. Today I might not stay really long on here. I put the invitation also. You can join as a guest. Yes, you can join as a guest on the stream, and that is the link. So I show it also on the screen. Here. Yeah. So moderators on YouTube, you can pin the invitation link there so that they can join. So I'm going to bring some guests already. I'm going to bring some guests already from TikTok. Let me see. Yeah. Yusuf Blessom. If you are still here, when I fully move to TikTok, I can talk to you, right? Right now, I just want to allow the Sunnis and to come first. I'll be ending. I'm making a live stream. So I'm making a live stream. So I'll. Yes, I'll get back to you. I've seen your message. God bless. I'll get back to you, inshallah. Right? Yeah, I'll be on Sunday, God will. I'll be doing a live session. Yusuf, last time when I finished, I didn't see you. Last Sunday, you came but you left. Right? Next Sunday I'll be doing a live session, so you can join. But Sunday I'm not going to do YouTube. Right now I'm on YouTube. Sunday I'll be doing a TikTok stream, right? So TikTok, you can join TikTok on Sunday, inshallah. Yeah. So on TikTok, let me see. There was a guy earlier on as a guest. I don't know if he's still here. Is it Nuru something on TikTok? Yes, thank you. The real Mishizi Sniper, thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you. Right? TikTok, some people send a request. Usually these people will come, they are in a hurry. They will not pay attention to listen to my message. They'll be like, hey, I'm sending you a request. Why are you scared to answer? Hey, these. Well, when I'm ready, they are not here. Yeah. Please, if you are in the comment section on TikTok, if you are a sectarian, then you come up. If you are not a sectarian, don't send me a request yet, please. Likewise on YouTube, if you are not a mushrik, please don't send me a request yet. Oh, sorry, YouTube, if you are not a sectarian, you can send a request, because YouTube, I'll be ending the stream very soon. So YouTube, when I end, I'm going to TikTok. So on TikTok, if you are not a sectarian, please don't send me a request yet. On TikTok, I want to listen to the mushriks. So if anybody is a Sunni or Shiite, let the person send me a request on TikTok. But those watching on YouTube, anybody can send a request, right? It doesn't matter, because I'll be ending the stream very soon, right? So yeah. Yes, exactly. Eat your groceries. He says, follow the hadith signs, trust the experts, don't do your own research. This is what the scholars of the hadith will always tell you. That's what they say. They don't want you to do your own research because then you are going to fish them out and bring out the main thing they are trying to hide from the people. And they don't want you to see that, right? They don't like it. Yeah, greetings, bro. Your name and where you're calling from. Oh, just a second. Can you hear me?
There's no C. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, I cannot hear you. It's just making noise. It's making noise.
Oh, that's strange. Wait a second. Just a second.
Line in.
How about now? So now also you cannot hear me.
Bluetooth.
Yeah, just a second.
Bluetooth connected.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so now it's better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my greetings.
Yeah.
So I'm here to just ask you some question and learn from you better because I always watch your video. And I learn a lot of things from you, and I think and I believe that you are someone who is wise and intelligent. So I want to learn this part from you because this world now there's a lot of things that are going on. So I know that you explain better to me this part.
I was actually not looking forward to pick up calls like this yet. I wanted a particular group to call me first before I answer questions. But if you can make it snappy, just ask me one or two. Don't ask me more, so that I can deal with the ones.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because like a lot of people, if they hear from jihad, they always think that jihad is a war against the infidel, to kill the infidel. So I want to know the real meaning of jihad.
The real meaning of jihad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a jihad as a word, its real meaning is about struggle, to strive or to struggle. But in the context of struggling with somebody, in terms of if it's used in the context of war, then it will be about fighting. If it is used in the context of doing things in the cause of God, then it is about striving or struggling for God. So, but in this modern day, when people use the word jihad, automatically it comes into people's head as war, fighting. That is what people will think jihad means, but that is not actually the case. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
So
thank you.
When God says we should do jihad, it doesn't necessitate that you should go out there and kill people. No, It doesn't say you should go and terminate people. However, let's check something here. I'm going to give you an example. In Quran chapter 61, you can write the verse down and you check it for yourself. In Quran chapter 61, verse 10 to verse 11. So God says, "O you who believe, shall I direct you to a business that will save you from a painful punishment?" Then he says, "Believe in God and his messenger." Then he says what? "And strive." The word tujahiduna, the word is used in Arabic, tujahiduna. And strive or struggle in the way of God with your wealth and your souls. You have to strive, you have to struggle. But in this context, we cannot say "and fight in the way of God with your wealth and souls." No. If you say "fight with your," no. So the correct translation here is to strive or struggle with, in the name of God or in the way of God, with your wealth and your souls, meaning your lives. Then he says that is better for you if you should know. So the idea of actually going to fight people who haven't actually transgressed against you is not a Quranic concept.
Okay.
You see my point. It's not a Quranic point. According to the Quran, chapter 2, verse 190, you only fight people who aggress against you. You shouldn't be an aggressor. So you shouldn't be the first to start fighting people, unless if they fight you first. Then you can retaliate.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
What's the second question?
That's all. No, that's all.
Okay.
I just want to understand that so that
You are welcome. You are welcome. So you keep on watching. There's a group of people I want them to actually call. So when they call, then you will benefit from that. Thank you very much. So there's somebody waiting. Rakibul Sheikh, right?
Salamun alaikum, Baba Shuaib.
Yes, wa alaikum salam. Just a second.
Brother, you are great to work. Now you are my inspiration, brother. Your talking style and your argument style is so good.
Thank you very much, Rakibul Sheikh. Rakibul Sheikh, where are you calling from?
I am from India, West Bengal.
Oh, nice. Lately, I have a lot of people from India watching me. That is good. That's nice.
Yes, my friend also watch you because
That's good.
he say the argument style, the presentation style is so good, and you are
I
my
appreciate it.
inspiration.
I
Uh,
appreciate that. I appreciate that. God bless.
I'm 18-year olds, and now I'm 18-year olds,
You
and I'm a small kid.
you just turned 18.
Yes, and
Okay.
I Alhamdulillah I follow only Quran, and
That's
you are my
that's good.
inspiration, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel where you
Yes,
can get.
obviously, I subscribe your YouTube channel because you are my inspiration, brother. I follow every platform like social media, every platform, Facebook, and TikTok, and every platform.
Yeah, you can follow. There's MFG. There's MFG also. He has TikTok. He has YouTube. You can follow him there. You can watch because we are dealing with the same rivals, enemies. So yeah, you can also benefit there from also.
Also, okay,
Yeah.
brother. One thing. Uh, okay, nice, good work, brother. Because so good work. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you,
Don't be short of words, right? Don't be short of words. And I know since you said I'm your inspiration, it's a motivation for me also to keep doing what I'm doing, to get the likes of you,
Yes,
to have inspiration in what I do.
I
So
am from
I
India. Okay, my mother tongue is Bengali, so I not properly speak in English.
yeah,
So
okay, but your mother tongue is so if I say Donnabad, you understand, eh?
okay,
Donnabad. Thank you very much.
Dhanyavad,
But
Dhanyavad.
keep on watching, right? Keep on watching. You
Okay, keep
benefit a
watching.
lot
Yes,
from it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
God bless you, peace.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah, so that was Rakibul Sheikh who called in. I was actually on TikTok. Let me see. let me see. Please, if those sending me the request on TikTok, if you are a sectarian, if you are a Sunni, let me know. If you are a sectarian, I don't want to pick up anybody on TikTok who is not against me. I want to pick somebody who is against me. I want the conversation to be interesting. So please, if you are only here to ask me a question, you wait. When I come to TikTok, you ask me. But those on YouTube, if you have any random question you want to ask before I leave, you can ask me, right? If you have any random question pertaining to Islam you want to ask, and you are on YouTube or any other platform you're watching me from, then you're welcome. You can ask me, right? Or you want to call on my number, that is the number on the screen. You see it? That is the number on the screen. And TikTok can sideline me if I mention my number on here. I don't want that. Hypnotist, is it hypnotist? Is it by mistake or is actually a request? Hypnotist, is it a request or by mistake? Hypnotist Rosalian, is it by mistake or? Hypnotist, it was an accident. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. So it was by mistake. Yeah, because I was surprised. I said, please, if there's any sectarian in the comment section who sent a request, let me know if you are a sectarian, right? Yeah, no problem. Hypnotist. Abdul Samad Adam, I see you. Salam to you, my brother. Cliff, Sea Life, I see you. Is it Cliff or Sea Life, right? I don't know. Should I say Sea Life or should I say Cliff? Ziad Mahomed says, okay, you are leaving. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend also. God bless you. Thank you. I'll be streaming on Sunday night. That I'll be doing a TikTok version, right? On Sunday. So kindly join. You're welcome. God bless you. Alicia, do you have love? Baba Shah, do you love the Prophet, peace be upon him, more than your parents? I love him, but I cannot say I love him more than my parents. According to Quran chapter 9, verse 24, it is the messenger you can love based on his messengership role. You have to love the assignment given to the messenger. That is the messenger. So God, the messenger, and striving in the way of God has to be more beloved to you. So in that comparison, as a messenger, yes. But as a prophet, his duty or his role as a prophet, I cannot say I love him more than my parent. That's a stupid question to even ask. According to God, Quran chapter 2, verse 165, God comes first. I love God more than anything. If you ask me about God, I can say I love God more than anyone. Right? But the moment you are bringing the prophet, I don't know him as a prophet physically. I've never seen him as a prophet. So he was a prophet for his people. He is not a prophet to me because I didn't meet him as a prophet. But his role as a messenger extends to me because I have the Quran. He delivered the Quran. So I have the Quran. That is a message. So in the Quran, he claims to be a messenger to all of us. That is Quran chapter 7, verse 158, where he says, Inni Rasulullahi ilaykum jami'an. Right? He's a messenger of God to us all. So as a messenger, yes, I love. I think you love yourself more than the prophet. Well, it's your thinking. When foolish people think in your way you are thinking, I don't have a problem with that because that's your opinion, right? I think you love yourself more than the prophet. Okay. The mushriks, anyways, you don't know how to reason. So whatever you think, that's up to you. You think like that. Wonder why till now no big head sectarian do not call you Baba. Yes, they keep running away. They know me very well, more than you can imagine. The reason why they don't call me out is because if I have the big platform, it will be a problem for them. So even in Ghana, they protest for me not to be. They don't like it when I'm on a platform. I'm given a chance to speak because I'll puncture the holes in their narratives. They don't like it, right? Yeah, salam.
Salam.
Yes, my brother. Your name and where you're calling from?
Me, Zach from England. I came here before. Sky
Zach,
Monkey.
you've been here before, but you changed your name on this. I think you're
Yeah.
calling this friend this thing. Yeah. Anyways,
Yep.
Zach, how can I help you today?
So I have a question. Like, what do you think of the idea that the Quran was a whole discourse towards the society of Muhammad and is to be understood that way, but the guidance from God can still be taken from it in the 21st century? As in, like, it's not the Quran is like there's verses in the Quran, for example, that say, if you were to obey the majority of the people in the land, they will surely lead you astray. Can I read that as like this is pertaining to the society of Prophet Muhammad, and we can take guidance from it, but it's not like we have it for a fact for us today. It's like um, it's just the whole Quran is like is to them like this other verse. It says like if you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they will surely say Allah. Say praise be to Allah, but most of them don't know. My question is, if we say that this is applying to disbelievers today, would that make sense? Because then there's atheists. Like I think it may have been at the time of the Prophet, a speech to the time of the Prophet that we can take guidance from, but it's like strictly society of the Prophet because they did believe in Allah, but they didn't truly believe in Him in the right way. What do you think?
Okay. When you read Quran chapter 4, verse 26, this is what God says. In Quran chapter 4, verse 26, He says, Yuridullahu liyubayyina lakum wa yadiyakum sunana allazina min qablikum wa yatuba alaykum wallahu alimun hakim. He says, God intends to clarify to you, that is in a plural form, lakum, and guide you to the examples of those before you and to forgive you, and God is omniscient and what? And wise. So the Quran is coupled with past, present, and future. You find past informations which has to do with the people of the past, and you have issues which is dealing with present at the time of the Prophet. Then you have issues which is dealing with the future. And remember, some things that people did in the past can be repeated today, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are repeated. So when we find the story of the past and people living a particular lifestyle, so God uses them to set an example or to warn the people of the present or the people of the future. So He will say, look what I did to these people. Make sure you don't fall in the same footsteps. So for instance, when God says, do not follow the footsteps of the devil, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ, Quran chapter 2, verse 208, He is telling you because He already laid down the footsteps of the devil in the Quran. He doesn't want you to follow them, even though you can see them. So similarly, the stories we are talking about, we do have stories which are only aligned or assigned to only the Prophet and his people. It doesn't extend to us. Then we have stories which we can replicate or we can copy, imitate, which goes up to us because it's still believers. So believers copy each other. We copy each other, meaning we work with each other and we copy each other. So when I see a believer do something in the past, which I think is reasonable and it made God answer his prayers, I can also repeat it. Now, let's take the case of Quran chapter 33, verse 53. Now, see what God is instructing the believers in that verse. God is telling the believers, "Oh, you who believe, do not enter the houses of the prophet unless you have permission for a meal. Without waiting in patience," then he says what? "Unless when you are invited, then enter. And when you have eaten, then disperse. And do not socialize for discussion." Now, when you take this verse I just read, does it have to do with us?
No.
Exactly. Because the prophet is not alive. And secondly, we don't have the houses of the prophet. And thirdly, we cannot go to his house to eat. But you see, the verse is still in the Quran. So the understanding is there. The believing of the verse is there, which means the believers were instructed to do something at the time of the prophet. And it was still the prophet who would tell them this message because the message comes from God, right? So we
Yeah.
have verses in the Quran which is pertaining to the people based on the context. It is only working with the people in the past and not to us. Then we have issues which you and I can still repeat. We can
Yeah.
copy and adapt to it. Then we have informations God gave which has to do with the future reference. So that's how the Quran works. That's why it's a guidance for mankind. So if you are talking about hypocrites, the Quran has a message for hypocrites. So if you are not a hypocrite, you are not part of that message. If God is talking to believers, if you are a believer, God is talking to you. If you are a transgressor, then this is a category. If you are mushrik, then this is the category. That's why it's for mankind. It talks to everybody, anybody, everybody.
Mm,
Yes.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Um. What do you think of the argument of like Haman in the Quran being like a type of title rather than like a name, like something like that?
It's a title, it's not a name. Just like we have Pope John Paul, we have Pope, we have Fir'auna. It's a title.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yep. Yeah. That was the questions I wanted to ask. Like the first one,
Yeah.
it being to the audience, and it can be replicated by us.
Yeah.
But it was like at the Prophet's time, like directly to them, but we can take guidance from it if it applies to us, if our lives become something like it. Okay, I see.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. Yeah, peace to you, Ballo World.
Peace.
Have a good night. Yeah, thank you very much, Zach. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
calling.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Ballo World, have a good night. It's late already. I can understand that. So on TikTok, somebody sent a request. Let me see. So guys, on YouTube, I'm bringing this to an end in about 15 minutes. I bring the YouTube stream to an end, right? Remember, now I'm streaming live on X, Twitter, X. I'm on X. So if you're following me, kindly subscribe on X and follow me there. You can subscribe there so you can watch on X. Now X has a live stream session. Yeah, so you can subscribe there and show your support. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, I'm on X streaming live, so you can watch me on X. Yeah. Somebody sent me a request. I just answered, but the person is not there. He said that you should pick me. I pick you, but you are not here, right? I don't know. So those who send me the request on TikTok, if you are a sectarian, you are a Sunni, let me know, please, before I bring you. I don't want where you come and ask me some question that So those on TikTok, I'm coming to TikTok. So when I come there, if you have any questions aside the mushriks, then you can join in, right? The sectarians are too afraid to accept your challenge. It's true. That I know. Right? Yes, thank you. Mohammed Hassan, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. The silent Baba, God bless you. So those on TikTok, those who send me the requests, I don't know. I see you, my sister Muslima loves real estate. Peace to you. James Holy War. Wow, this brother, long time. It's been a while. I didn't see you around. Right? It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so those watching on TikTok, like I said, I'm coming there in few minutes. When I end the stream on YouTube, I'm coming straight to TikTok right now. Sharif Karim, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. God bless you. Right? Pacman says the people of Lot were worse than the LGBT community. They were trying to force themselves onto God's angels. Yeah. Yeah. Zabuta Buta says, for example, people of Lot, and today you can still find such people. Yeah, they are there. People are replicating exactly what the people of Lot did. Right? Yeah. So the evils done in the past are still being repeated by people today. So it's the evil still exists in people, and that's why God is saying we shouldn't follow the footsteps of the devil, because people will copy the evil act some people did, and it keep repeating, right? Yeah. So guys, Omar Sataur says, Baba, is there a time messenger is the subject and verse is only at time he was alive? Yes, there is. There is. For instance, Quran chapter 4, verse 61, right? Let me put it on the screen so you see what I'm talking about. Quran chapter 4, verse 61. Yeah. And also Quran chapter 4, verse, is it 56? No. Yeah. Quran chapter 4, verse 61. Yeah, when it is said to them, come to what God has sent down and to the messenger, you see the hypocrite turning away from you. So he's telling the messenger directly. You see the hypocrite turning away from you in refusal. So second person pronoun, addressing that to the messenger himself, right? Then apart from that, we have Quran chapter 5, verse 41. Is it 41? Chapter 5. Yeah. Quran chapter 5, verse 41, where it says, O you messenger, do not be saddened by those who hasten into disbelief among those who have said, we believe, with their mouths, while their hearts do not believe. For among the Jews are those who listen to falsehood. They listen to other people who have not come to you. They distort words out of their places, saying that if you are given this, then take it. But if you are not given it, then be careful. But whosoever God intends to test him, then you can never control anything against God for him. Those are the ones whom God does not intend to purify their hearts. For them is disgrace in the world, and they will have a terrible punishment in the hereafter. So these two verses I quoted, this is in line with the time of the messenger, and the context gives you the hint that it is related to when he was alive, right? Salam, Shayer Ahmed. Akiku Shashintaro says, does a prophecy happening in the future use as past tense in the Quran? Yes. So for instance, if you go to Quran chapter 25, verse 30, which is in a future issue, but the certain past tense word is used to just show you that even though it is going to happen in the future, but it has already happened in the books of God. It has already happened. So Quran chapter 25, verse 30, where it says, وَقَالَ رَسُولِ يَا رَبِّ إِنَّا قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَأْجُورًا. And the messenger will say, even though the word qala is in the past tense, yes. So we can see the messenger said, oh Lord, indeed my people have taken this Quran as abandoned. But it will happen in the future. It's not a past tense. But the word used there appears in such a context, because the context shows you this is about the day of judgment. Right? So that is the somebody says Amis B1 says what? Amis B1 says what? Chapter 23, verse 99 to 100 says, dead can't what? Dead can't return. Yet 59:10 prays for them. Why? I think you have a misunderstanding. 59:10 is not about the dead people. So I'm going to put a challenge for you. Amis B, I don't know if you're a Quran alone follower, but you are actually, as you're making a claim. You said this is a contradiction. No, it is a contradiction in your understanding. So Amis B, let me help you out. Can you call? Let me show you what you are missing. I know what you are trying to interpret. Amis B, if you can call the number on the page. So let me help you with the verse. Right? Chapter 23, verse 99 to 100. Yes, the dead cannot return. Chapter 59, verse 10 doesn't mean they are returning. That is Surah Al-Hashr. So let me help out, because I don't think you will call anyway. So chapter 59, verse 10. Try to read the context. The context doesn't mean they are dead, but you are trying to look at it as if they are dead, and that is where the problem is, right? So let's start from verse 8. You know, verse 7 is talking about the booty, the spoils of war, when it's shared among the believers. That is what 50. Let me put the verse on the screen. So chapter 59, verse 8. When you start from verse 7, like I said, it's talking about the spoils of war, how it should be distributed, right? So now we continue. For the needy emigrant who were expelled from their homes and their properties, seeking the favor and approval of God while supporting God and his what? Messenger. Those are the truthful. Then it continues. Verse what? Verse 9. So in verse 9, this is what it says. Then it says, as well as those who occupy the home and the faith before them. It doesn't mean, listen, it doesn't mean before them that means they are dead. No. It means the groups who keep joining the religion. Some group were already there with the messenger, who supported the messenger, and they are with him, whilst others are now coming in. It doesn't mean this first group are dead and gone. It's not talking about past tense like people are dead and gone. It's talking about people who already joined the faith and they are with the messenger, whilst those who are now coming. So he says, as well as those who occupy the home and the faith before them, the faith. They love those who emigrated to them. They love. You see, they were there before a group came. So they love those who emigrated to them. And they do not find in their bosoms the need of what they were given, but they give preference over themselves. Even though there was destitution that's in need in them. Then he says, and whoever protects himself from stinginess, then they are those who will be the successful. Then verse 10, also those who came after them. It doesn't mean after they are dead. I think you, in the context, you are trying to understand it that these people were dead because it says after. God used the word before and after. Doesn't mean any party was dead, still alive. But the ones who came before you and the ones who came after you. So God is giving you the context, and I challenge you, Amis B, show me the word dead or somebody died in this context. There's no death mentioned there. Then it continues. Who came after them, saying, you see, people came after them, saying, our Lord, forgive us and our brethren, because believers have to pray for each other. Just like God told the prophet in chapter 47, verse 19, to pray for the believers for their zambi, for their sins. There's nothing wrong, right? It doesn't mean they were praying for the dead. God never said they are dead. It is your assumption, thinking that they are dead. So then he said, forgive us and our brethren who preceded us in faith, because they came to the faith before you came. Maybe you are a kafir, and I am a believer since 16 years ago. So you just came into Islam, the real Islam, 2 years ago. So I preceded you in faith. It doesn't mean I died. So they are praying that forgive us and our brethren who preceded us in faith. It didn't say on earth. Then, and do not place rancor in our hearts towards those who have believed. Because the ones who preceded you in faith, God doesn't need to put hatred against those who already believed. Then he says, our Lord, indeed, you are kind and merciful. So Amis B, according to your argument in the comment section, you pasted chapter 59, verse 10, saying this is a contradiction. No, it is your logic which is contradicted. Right? So this is why you need to seek learned people who are above you to question them to see where they use their argument from. So the argument God is presenting to you in the Quran, it is not a contradiction. It is your logic which is contradictive. Understand this. You pasted 59:10, you say it's a contradiction. No, there is no contradiction at all. It's your understanding which is contradictive. So I keep telling people you need to unlearn and relearn. Please, unlearn and relearn is very, very important, because I've seen many a times the way people read scriptures and they try to use their own perception into the words of God, it becomes a problem. Quran chapter 10 verse 82, and God will enforce the truth with his words, even if the criminals dislike it. So all the challenge I can say is present to me the verse and show me where it says those who preceded them in faith were dead. No. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Khan says, therefore, all the hadiths of the mushriks couldn't have happened since Allah forbade it. Does it make sense? The verse you mentioned about how to attend the house of the Muhammad, I think there is a message for also. Allah didn't allow any gossip with Muhammad. Yes, it doesn't. Yeah, you are right. You are right, Marcel Khan, right? Let me see. Somebody sent a request. I don't know. Those who send the request, I pick them up, but they don't come. Okay, this guy is here now. Yeah, salam to you.
Bluetooth connected.
Last time for several times now, listening to you, but I'm still lost. Like, I don't know your ideology, the way you see things, because like I don't know, this like, seems to be like really new to me. But my biggest question I'm asking is like, are you pray like since you're a Muslim, so due to your ideology, I'm saying like, how do you pray? So that's my question. And I really want to know like your ideology.
You want to
everything like,
you wanted to
like going on because this seems very new to me. I just want to learn.
So your biggest question to me right now is how do I pray?
Yeah.
That's all you want to know.
Yeah, from there, like you can let me know like your point of view, like your ideology, like what this all about. Like you have an issue with the hadith. And just now I heard you say like the prophets, that's their prophet, that time you're only following his book because that's the Quran. It seems like
brother, where are you from?
I'm from Guinea.
And you say your name is
Mamadou.
Mamadou. I like that. Mamadou, is it your first time of watching me?
No, this is not the first time. So,
but why are you confused?
Just that I'm not too constant. Maybe sometimes 15, 20 minutes, something comes up.
Why are you confused about what I follow, my ideology? If you watch my videos on my page, is it not clear for you what I represent?
It's not the page. Most of the time, it's about you being online.
But you don't watch my videos on my page?
No.
Then where did you get my concept from then? Because if you don't, you ever
because
watch.
I listen you sometimes you talking to people like you bringing up some of your belief. So that's the whole thing. I don't want to be looking at videos wherein I can have access. So ask you the question so you can answer me, just to make things clear to me.
Okay, so if you want to know how I pray, I have it on my YouTube channel.
What if I've watched the YouTube, I haven't understand nothing. So here you are, you can make things very clear to me.
I said,
that's all I need.
Do you want to learn or do you want to argue?
No, I'm not arguing, I just want to learn.
So I said, I have it on my YouTube channel. All you need to ask me is where can I find it? Then I'll show you where you can find it. If you are here to argue, then fine. I can get my glasses ready, then we can argue. Right? Then we go. You ask me and I'll ask you also to explain how
what
you
if
do.
I've looked at it and I still haven't understand? That's exactly what I'm
saying.
No, because that your ideology.
If you say what if
I'm confused.
Wait.
I'm confused.
But if you say what if you have looked at it, you didn't. Have you looked at it?
You can't tell.
Okay, now tell me.
I'm not assuming.
Tell me. Tell me now, Mamadi. Have you watched it?
I'm asking you a question.
And now I said, have you watched it?
I haven't.
Thank you. So why are you saying
no? Wait. I watch it.
Then that is stupidity. If you have watched it and I'm asking you, wait. If you have watched it and I'm asking you, have you watched it? And you said no. Then you again say, oh, you cannot tell if I have watched. That's a stupid statement to make. Excuse me, my language. It's stupid to say that.
Okay. You are okay.
I ask you, have you watched it? You said no.
No.
So then why will you go ahead to say, what if you have watched it?
No, what I mean, what if I watch it and I still don't understand?
Then you come
Wherein
back
I
and
have
ask
the
me, wait.
access. That's exactly before me doing that. I have the
No,
access
no,
now.
no, you don't have the access still. The reason why we make videos and put it there is for people like you to go and watch. So when you have an argument or you have a question, then now you come back. Because even if I explain to you now, I'll still tell you go and watch the video to understand better. Do you get my point?
I get your point.
So
My
even if
point
I should explain,
I'm saying, yeah.
Look, even if I should explain to you,
explain and see.
Oh
if
my
you
God.
Explain, then if I have some questions, I will bring them up again at the same time.
My brother, do you want to learn or you want to argue?
I'm not here to argue. Like
Thank
I
you.
said, your
So I
ideology
said,
is new to me. So
no problem. So I said, go to my YouTube channel, the same name. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to the Salat playlist. I have a playlist. It's called Salat Series. Go there, watch it. Come back. You want to argue? You want to ask me a question? Then you come. I'm here. I don't go anywhere. But when you come right now, this question you are going to ask me, do you know how many times I've been asked?
I don't know.
A lot. I'm tired of answering. So that's why I ask you, if you want to argue, let's argue about it. I will show you how I do. You show me yours also. If you long to argue, let's do like that. But if you want to learn, I'm making it easy for you. And I say it's on the YouTube. Go and just check. So maybe you didn't understand. I'm here. I do my lectures Wednesdays and Sundays. Then you come and face me. Baba Shuaib, I'm not running away from anybody. If it's confusing you, that is your problem, not me. But you want to learn from me, the video is there. It is not here. You come and force me to teach you the way I want. No. If you want to argue, fine, we can argue. Then I start and show you everything I do. But you have to show me yours.
I thought your platform is for someone to learn, not to argue.
Not like you. Check my bio. I explain the people who want to learn. You go and check my bio. I wrote it. The kind of people I teach.
Okay. So what is the ideology is all about then? Like you having issue with the Hadith? Because that one is a different thing from the prayer. Because I know the Quran, we have the tafsir, and the Quran didn't explain everything exactly the way you should understand it. That's my own way of seeing, understanding things. So that's why I'm asking you from your own perspective. Why is it yours comes to become very different?
What did I say?
The whole thing about this.
What did I say? What did I say which is different?
Everybody with their specific understanding about how they understand the scripture. That's the thing. Our ideology, the main reason I understand Islam and the Quran is preserved for more than 1,000 years is because we are one. Like we have the understanding, knowing like this is the thing. There's nothing that's going to change from it. But if I'm understanding some different sections and I need to know the ideology from your own side, maybe my ideology I used to have is wrong. Maybe from your own perspective, I can able to understand something better.
You cannot understand now.
That's the whole thing.
No, you cannot understand me right now because you never choose to understand me from my videos you watched. How can you understand me now?
What am I?
Huh?
See, now, that's the thing. Now I'm having the access to ask you directly.
Ask me one thing you don't understand from me. One thing.
About you having only not believing that it's only the Quran.
Okay, so you understand that, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I don't understand that.
Okay. Is there any way God says I should follow Hadith?
Is there a way?
Is there any way? Anywhere? God
have to use someone between us, and which is the prophet, and the prophet said it.
The prophet said what?
You have to follow the Quran and the Sunnah, which is the Hadith.
Where did he say that?
It's on the Hadith, but I can't argue with that because you don't believe in it.
Give me the Hadith. Give me. Let me check. If it's good, I can follow it. Show me the Hadith.
You cannot, because you don't follow none of them. You don't trust on
No,
none
I
of the
say if
hadith.
it's
So
good,
you
I'll
can't
follow
say
it.
you can pick. You can choose.
Biko, wait. If it's good, I'll follow it. Give me the reference.
No, how can you say it is good? Why? How can you confirm it is good?
I
Because
said if it is good,
it
I'll
has to
follow
be
it.
on
I'll
your
see
own?
it. No. If it's good, I'll check it. I'm a human being. I have brain. So I'll check it and read it. If the prophet said, I'll believe it. Give me the reference.
Baba, even if I give it, they have been giving it some.
Give me now. Give me. I said, give me. Give me.
Because now I'm asking you a question.
Give me. Give me. I say, give me. You give me. I'm ready to believe Hadith. You don't want me to believe Hadith?
Nah, you don't believe it.
Give me.
I'm not the one that is going to change your ideology about that.
So you want me to
I'm
change?
not even going to give it to you.
And you want me to
I
change?
just want to learn from your own perspective.
Now you want to learn from me?
Yeah, that's from the beginning. That's what I
said. So you don't want me to learn from you?
Perspective. No, because you haven't answered one of my questions.
Hey, which a lot of questions did you ask me? You came for Salat. I say go to YouTube and see it.
I'm asking you a question.
You ask me first question. I say go to YouTube. Didn't I tell you? I ask you simple question. Do you want to argue or do you want to learn? Is that not what I ask you, my brother Muhammad?
I didn't say I want to argue.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to learn, right? Thank you. So I say go to YouTube. That's where everybody learns from my videos, the lectures I do. If you want to learn, here I'm here for argument. You want to argue?
I'm not here to argue.
Thank you. So if you are not here to argue,
perspective and my perspective, the argument is not going to make sense because your perspective and perspective is not matching. So for me to understand your perspective, I need to know your ideology. For me,
my ideology is on YouTube. Go and watch.
Okay.
Thank you. That's where you can get. By the way, are you married?
Don't worry, Baba knowing I don't know the reference. Islamically right now, if you want, you can chat everywhere.
Are you Mamadi?
Any reference because sometimes people pretend to say they know. Even if I know the hadith, I can tell you I know the hadith. And I can give you reference. Even if I go online, I can search and the hadith can come up and pop up. We argue about in our different
Mamadi.
So people stop saying he doesn't know the reference.
Mamadi, please don't read the comments. Forget them.
No,
forget them. Forget them. Mamadi, it's okay. It's okay.
That is personal.
Mamadi, don't get angry.
That is personal.
Are you married or not? Are you married?
Something personal. That is something personal. I'm not going to answer those questions.
But why are you angry? Why are you angry? Who make you angry?
No, I'm not angry. I'm not saying. I'm not going to reply to that because that's personal something. If I'm married or not, I didn't ask you for that. That's not the reason why I'm here.
We are going to investigate you. We give you a wife to marry. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you. Guys, you see, because of your comments, somebody was to beat me here because he's not married, so he's angry. Yes. He became emotional already. Anyways, guys, you and YouTube, guys on YouTube, go and get married. It's okay. I need to bring the session to an end. For those on YouTube and other platforms, except TikTok, right? I'm going to TikTok right now. Kindly join me on TikTok. I'll be there for like 2 hours before I end the stream. So you're welcome to join me on TikTok. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you for all those who send the super chat, those who made the comments, those who give the likes, those who shared the program, those who join as guests. All of you. I appreciate all of you. God bless you and thank you. And God bless you. I'm going to TikTok. If you want to have fun, please come on TikTok. Somebody is calling me, but I don't know. Somebody's calling right now. I don't know if I should pick, but let's see. Yeah, salam alaikum. Salam.
Hello.
Yes, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, I have a question.
Line in.
Yeah.
Hello, Baba Shuaib.
Yes, brother. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You cannot hear me? Oh, what's wrong? Okay, let me call back.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Baba Shuaib. Can you hear me, please?
Walaikum salam. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh my God.
I don't know why.
It's quite unfortunate. I think the person has some important question to ask, but it doesn't go through. If you can go to TikTok, yeah, brother. If you have a TikTok account, I'm going to TikTok. Can you come on TikTok and ask me the question? It's my same username. At Bush2G9. Come to TikTok. I'm there. You can ask me that. Brother Sahil, right? Assalamu alaikum. Yes, guys. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate all of you. I need to bring this to an end. It's 3 hours into the program. Catch me on Sunday. But Sundays, I do the live stream on TikTok, right? So expect me. I might start doing a live stream also on YouTube on Sundays. For now, I'm sticking to TikTok. So I might start doing TikTok, YouTube together, right? The point is sometimes I stay longer. It can be like 5 hours, 6 hours. So that is why sometimes I don't come to YouTube. I prefer the YouTube to be midweek. Then I do TikTok, right? And the reason why I do TikTok more because that's where I have the large fan base, right? I have over about 91,000 subscribers there. So that's why I do that there, right? Okay, so yeah. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all of you, right? Omar Satawu, Zegmu, Bilal Jibril, Akiku, Sashintaro, all of you, JS, all those who watch from the beginning, Zabuta Buta, all of you, those on YouTube, Facebook, user, is it user, the Silent Baba, Simon C39, Matthew Khan. The names are just endless, countless. And my brother Mohammed White, I see you, my dear brother. God bless you. Thank you. He says the most patient man alive, Baba. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Huh? Thank you. So, guys, YouTube, till we meet again, this is where I say peace out for now. One love. Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.